Hello, and welcome to Monday Night Bloodbath, episode 2, where we are going to talk about the Keri Lake tapes. There's only one tape, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about James O'Keefe and his little story that he came out. I don't know if you guys checked that out last week.
Twitter?
I missed that.
Oh,
So okay. Well, that'll be in. We'll take a look. We'll watch a bit of that. It's like a 20-minute video. And then what else? What else do I got here? Oh yeah. Civil War. You know, the Tim Pullining
Civil War.
and now
hold on, drink.
Big shot.
And then of course we couldn't go a day in the week without starting another fucking war. Where,
thank God.
where it looks like, Iran had to go and do things. And I've got
Ghost of John McCain.
get ready to have your tinfoil hats.
Gosh.
As a matter of fact, let's just go into Iran. It'll be quick. I've just got two things on it. So
Just like the war. It will be quick.
Right. So they're trying to say that Iran is responsible for a strike somewhere that killed 3 U.S. soldiers. I don't know where it's at. I don't know anything.
It's in Jordan. It was a drone strike in Jordan.
Right, and they're claiming it's
Houthi
at
rebels.
least Iran adjacent.
It's probably Houthi rebels with a
That's
drone
the most
strike.
racist thing I've ever heard. Iran. It's one of those fucking Middle Easterns. My God.
Well, at least he didn't say like turban people.
There's the sand ninjas.
Yeah.
They're the Tuscan Raiders.
Yeah. What are those tribes?
We need Boba Fett out here to negotiate with the Tuscan Raiders.
And not
So the
just
Daily
the
Mail-
women, but the children.
I'm curious if you guys saw this article from the Daily Mail today. Weak, distracted Biden has let Iran's mullahs get away with murder and now risks an unholy war. Andrew Neil spells out how the appeasing president must strike back with the vengeance to save his own skin and avert disaster. What the
I don't think your cadence was right on it. I think you could have hit it a couple things a little stronger. But
Oh, well,
the idea.
please feel free, sir.
Yeah. Up to you.
Hold on. Weak, distracted Biden has let Iran's mullahs get away with murder and now risks an unholy war. Andrew News spells out how the appeasing president must strike back with a vengeance to save his own skin and avert disaster this
All
week on the
You
next
win.
Civil
You're a
War,
better reader
World
than
War
I am.
III.
You
Brought
win.
to you by Pfizer.
So this is the mainstream media. This is condition.
No, scroll back up. Scroll back up. This is not the mainstream media. This is the Daily Mail.
There is a lot of people that go there.
Daily Mail is probably the most
I think,
common. I think
I-
everybody reads Daily Mail.
Inquirer, for God's sake. Let's
mainstream.
be honest.
huh?
It's like the freaking Inquirer.
Oh well,
Nah.
okay. So yes and no. The Inquirer is more like TMZ. I would put this almost kind of like New York Post-ish.
Fair point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
More left New York Post.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but New York Post could be fairly left as well. Excuse me, I just had a random burp. But anyways, a lot of people read this, and I think this is just emotional and mental conditioning.
Oh yeah, this programming.
Because this is programming. This is when people see that they're like, oh, you know what? Yeah. But what's funny is it's like to save his own skin. And it's like, oh, so now he has to prove something. Biden has to prove he has balls. Like what?
I've been
I don't-
doing this for
So,
50
but, like,
years.
His balls
goes-
weren't big enough when he was writing that check to Iran and Russia.
This all goes back to WMDs in Iraq.
Yeah.
That's just a page out of their book. Oh, hey, Forky, you know what? I totally forgot. It's been a hell of an evening. I forgot introductions. I didn't do nothing because we were
Got
trying to
right
run the
into the
studio, and that
Because World War III.
Yes.
I just
Yeah, we
about World War
Not
III.
hyperbolic at all.
What's that?
Not at all hyperbolic.
And then so the other thing I wanted to bring up from Iran is this bit here. Wait, is this it? Or did I not put it in the doc? Okay, so there's two things. So here's a bit from Joe Biden during the 2020 presidential race.
Oh Christ.
This is from Benny Johnson. He's the one who shared this out there.
The world has changed because what Trump has done. And the American people, including independents and some Republicans, know how bad he is, know how much he's misrepresented, know how he's getting close to getting us in a war. I said, as the walls close in on this man, I'm worried he's going to get us to war in Iran. Unfortunately, I may have been right. The fact of the matter is, there's a lot at stake in this election. The world has changed.
He's worried that
Couple
Donald
things on
Trump
this.
was going to get into a war with Iran before
Well, couple things.
his 4 years were over.
First off, that was 2020. So
Right.
it was Trump's lame duck year.
Yep.
Secondly, notice how much more coherent Joe is in that conversation.
Oh, he looks 10 times better.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, a lot of people think he's been decompensating, degrading. I agree. But
they still had
was
drugs for this.
that's what I was going to say. You can pump someone up with some stimulants of some sort, get them a little clear-headed for a bit, as long as you need for the interview. But he sounded more coherent than, oh God, this weekend. Holy crap.
I know. I have some of those
Getting
clips
bad.
and I didn't pull them, but I'm saving them for something special.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's that. Joe Biden's all like, Trump can't get into war with Iran, but I can.
How many wars did Trump get into?
0.
I don't think you can say he started in new wars.
Nope.
Right. So where are we with Joe right now?
Like 3.
Well, we're at 2. We're at 2.
Are we going to count? Are we count Israel,
Yeah.
Hamas?
Can you count?
Oh,
Israel and
absolutely.
Hamas?
You're counting Israel and Hamas.
We're giving them. We've given them money.
We've given Iran
All right,
money, which gives Hamas
Ukraine
money,
and
bro.
Russia's a given. Ukraine and Russia's a
Yeah,
given.
Ukraine and
Yeah,
Russia,
Because when Biden was in
Afghanistan
office,
and
they
Hamas.
took Crimea, and then when Trump got into office, they didn't do shit. Because we all know that Trump was a Putin puppet. So when Putin has a puppet in the presidency of the United States, what do? You do not attack and run over Europe. You sit back and do nothing because that's what you do when you control the other greatest superpower on the planet. You do nothing. But then when Joe Biden gets in, all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we're going to go nuts. Wait a minute. The narrative does not work. I'm confused.
Yup.
So Shock said that because we've given money to Iran, that was technically getting involved in the Hamas and Israel.
Absolutely.
And
Well, that's true.
Because
Well,
that's two things. Because they've given them guns, and it gives them the security that Iran is closer to building nukes.
technically helped start that war.
Absolutely,
well-
it ignited the war. The conflict was always there, but he was the match.
Possible. Ignite is a strong word, but made it possible. Yes.
I think what it did is it freed up the money for further armaments, because my understanding is that October 7th was at least a year to 2 years in planning. So they've been planning this for some time. But when they loosen up the money, that means that, they can now, Iran can now take money from different places. So it's not really like, it's not necessarily us giving them the money, then it goes to Hamas, but it allows them to supplement other places. So it's like
A broke
it's
Iran never
indirect.
gave. A broke Iran never gave confidence to anyone that was, in the strip with Palestine. But when they have now, because that's the thing, it was always like, oh, why is Israel supposed to house like the Palestinians? They're supposed to share it, but that's not a realistic, it's not realistic for them to share it. But there are no allies for Palestinians in the Middle East, except for Iran, but their hands were tied. They were broke. Now they're growing into a better superpower again. They're closer to nukes. They have money now, and it just
Well,
that's how
they got
you
rid of the
recruit
deal.
people. It makes
The,
people.
the fact of the matter is the so-called Iran deal that Obama brokered just delayed them getting a nuke.
Yeah.
Just set it off for a bit. So, when Trump comes in and gets rid of that deal, we're like, we're not giving you anything. You're
Yeah.
cut off.
Mm-hmm.
So you're cutting off funding. You're cutting off all those stuff. You're not getting the money anymore. So they can't fund a nuclear program anymore. Now, when Joe gets back in, things start revving back up again, and we're getting some listening. And then the Abraham Accords sort of go by the wayside. Literally, there was an interview on Fox News with who's Saudi Arabia's prince.
Oh yeah.
What the hell was the guy's name? I forget his name.
Salam.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
So literally a week or two beforehand, Brett Baer is interviewing the prince from Saudi Arabia, and he's saying, we're getting close to something. I don't know that's going to happen, but we're definitely closer than we've been. And then what happens? Boom. So now we have a new conflagration. Why? Because Iran was losing power.
Yep.
They've been concerned about losing power in the Middle East. And when the Abraham Accords went in, there was a lessening of tensions between Israel and many of the other Arab countries in the area. So they had to exert their power again.
Yeah,
And
so Trump kept the trade routes flowing, right? And then people, these states and these countries were getting more established and stabilized. And then Biden just pulls the checkbook out, and they start funding their enemies. Pakistan, Iran.
we gave the Taliban $83 billion worth of equipment.
Oh, Israel. You were giving money to Israel, Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan. You were just funding all these people to encourage conflict. It is like
We've always been giving money to Israel.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're giving. I don't like giving money to Israel. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Israel, but you can't give Israel money and then give their enemies money. That's how you start conflicts.
What I was talking about with Afghanistan was when we left behind all the equipment, which has since gone on to be used against American interest. Because some very valuable equipment is left behind, like night vision goggles, is my understanding, which used to be how America's military maintained superiority, where they used to say, like, we would own the night because we had MVGs. So our guys could, like, go throughout a street in the middle of the night, be bright as day for them. Bad guys wouldn't know we're coming. Now the bad guys have all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because we just left it behind for some damn reason.
We didn't.
I mean, at least blow it up.
Right. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I remember when
And then if you blew it up, that would have been another tax write-off because for the government,
they would have called. No, they called.
They would have been able to buy more weapons and blown it up with their missiles and made more money.
They called Trump a psychopath when he wanted to put like nuclear energy along the lines of the base so that he can blow it up if they ever got risque in Afghanistan. And they called him a psychopath.
Well, the craziest thing was abandoning Bagram for evacuation purposes. Why would you give up your stronghold? You evacuate out of Bagram. Why are you evacuating out of the freaking civilian airport?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
Biden himself said
that was a great idea.
Biden said that it wasn't a good idea himself, like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I've got a lot of clips of Biden saying stuff back in
the day. Biden may have had a point when he talked about we should not be invading Afghanistan. We should send in surgical strikes. I'm pretty certain Biden said that. Like, send in teams, just take out the enemy and drop out. You send in a Delta, you send in a SEAL team, you send in Dev Group, whatever the hell you send in, some JSOC boys, whatever. You drop a couple drones in, hit some laser guided missiles, take out the bad guys and walk away. Don't establish a base. We do not need to be establishing democracy throughout the world because no one wants it.
I was watching the We Are Change podcast yesterday.
Oh, Rudkowski?
Yeah, Luke Rudkowski, and I think they had Zuby on.
Okay.
And they were talking about the bases around the world. We have somewhere like 780 military bases around the world. And so they're like, okay, so what country has the next most? Guess who and how many?
Hold on. I'm not going to go with Russia. I'm going to go Britain, and I'm going to say 10.
I was reading chat. What was the question again?
So America has something like 780 military bases around the world.
Oh, bases. Oh,
Who's
damn.
second, and how many do they have?
Oh, damn.
I say UK with 10.
Yeah, I would say UK or China.
According to the research done by Luke Rukowski and his team on the podcast, which they seem to be pretty on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's China with 1.
Oh, 1. Holy crap!
Is it one of the things they built in the ocean?
How
are they claiming that as theirs?
How do we not say that? Like Team America is more spot on than anyone could have ever imagined, right? Like, I mean, they were pointing at like something, but it's like even bigger than they knew. I think.
Well, I just want to point out that if we stop spending all this money on all these bases throughout the world, we could spend more money on getting free hotel rooms and free iPhones for the unlawfully entering foreign nationals into this country who truly deserve all of our tax money.
And all the paralegals that have to process them, but also don't really have to process them. They can take their sweet ass time.
Hold on. You're setting us up for a segue, but I'm not ready to go there. Because I do have one more thing in Iran. Is it the next BLM PSYOP?
Ooh. No. Because it was never about identity.
Not yet.
They will not. No, I don't. Even when it comes to BLM, they let them do the riots and the narratives. They allow the narratives.
I don't think BLM has ever really cared about any military people that were killed. BLM is, my opinion, whatever's left of it at this point.
It's easier to do if it's localized.
It's
first off,
the problem is those people had weapons. They were armed.
Not against a missile.
But they were more armed than Michael Brown. They are more armed than Trayvon Martin. They are more armed than George Floyd. Now, mind you,
I think it's more like the media wouldn't be allowed to.
George was high on fentanyl. Michael Brown was beating the crap out of a cop and tried to take his gun. Trayvon, he got into a fist fight with apparently a white Hispanic. I did not know that was
right.
a thing.
Yeah.
You know
also,
what?
His name is Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman. Jewish. That's right. Dude, that was a while ago.
But and you want to talk PSYOP? Notice that the only photo they showed of Trayvon Martin was when he was 12 years old. They never showed what he looked like. Does anyone really know?
Yeah,
they do that all the time. No, I have no clue. Because I was
Trayvon Martin was as big as your kid, man.
Yep.
Oh, really?
6 foot tall. He was a 6 foot tall dude. He was not this little kid, this little fresh faced kid. I swear, I'd love to find what an actual picture of Trayvon looks like.
That might be hard. I bet they're fucking wiped.
Who was the dude that
AI photos
tried to take his kids back who had a restraining order and they shot him in the spine and he got paralyzed?
Ooh.
You remember that one? He was a big one. The NFL players all put them on their helmets. I forgot who it was.
Oh, the criminal.
Yes, the criminal.
The Pittsburgh Steelers were the ones that had him on their helmets. And that one guy was
Drew Brees did it after he got bullied for respecting the flag.
Well, but I think that was the same dude, because I want to say it might have been in Pennsylvania, and the Pittsburgh Steelers had the guy on the back of their helmets or whatever, and someone from the Steelers was like, "What's going on here?" And it was a black guy on the Steelers. I don't remember who, but he was like, "This is a little weird." And of course, shame on you for not thinking like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Wait.
Shame on you for making me defend Drew Brees, by the way.
Trayvon Martin's still alive? What?
Yeah, he's with Elvis and Tupac.
So let's go back to Fracture.
Jacob Blake.
Forkin had
that's his name.
Here.
Jacob Blake. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, Jacob Blake. Yeah.
Okay, so I found a photo.
Order trying to kidnap his kids.
We'll get to Forkin's terrorist money here in a sec. share your screen. Let's see Trayvon Martin as he was,
Oh man.
and
Let me
not
make certain this is right.
who
here.
they
Hold
want
on.
us to remember him as.
I
Okay.
think Biden visited Jacob Blake too, because he was paralyzed.
That's right. I
He-
remember.
He got
Yeah.
paralyzed, and his wife wasn't there, or ex-wife, baby mama, whatever. He was not there.
He was still kind of baby faced.
Yeah,
But this is what
That's
they showed.
Yeah,
kid.
That's what they
the
showed.
kid.
But this was Trayvon Martin. This is
Oh,
all
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
from,
yeah.
this was
Oh,
stuff from
yeah.
his cell phone. Now, the source, look at the source, CNN. He's probably
2013.
15 there. But I mean, let's be real. Let's be real here, guys. Trayvon Martin, every time they showed it, they showed a 12-year-old kid.
Hmm.
This was a 17-year-old kid. And absolutely wrong that he was killed. Okay? I'm not saying it was right. I think probably Zimmerman should have been convicted of manslaughter.
Yeah, manslaughter. Sure.
I mean, manslaughter was a fair charge. But I think they charged him with murder.
Yeah, I think, and
Yeah, there it is. Second-degree murder. Why would you do that? I
think it
know
was
the
a hate
laws in
crime.
the state of Florida. You do not charge second-degree murder on this without giving lessers. Did they give a lesser included? I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure it was a hate crime thing, wasn't it?
They're all hate
No,
crimes.
that doesn't factor in on this right here. They charged as a second-degree murder. All right. So first-degree murder in Florida is straight out premeditated murder. So you get first-degree murder by going to a grand jury. You can't just charge someone with it. So when I did grand jury, I would go to a grand jury and ask them to give an indictment for first-degree murder. Sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes they would get second, sometimes they get first. So in this case, they went with second-degree murder, which is the crime of passion murder. Someone like the law school example is the man walks home and finds his wife in bed with another dude. He pulls out his handgun and kills the dude. So it's not premeditated. It's an act of it's a reaction act.
Yeah.
Manslaughter is a negligent homicide. It's a negligent killing. And I think that's more in line with what I recall from the facts of this case to be, where Zimmerman had a weapon and the weapon went off. That's more in line. So I think the better charge would have been charging him. Well, first, you can go ahead and charge a second degree, but you got to at least argue we're allowed to do lesser included offenses in Florida. So you say if you don't find that he did second degree murder, you still have an option of returning a guilty verdict of manslaughter. That was a mistake they didn't do with Casey Anthony. They went Casey Anthony straight first degree murder. They should go on first degree murder, second degree murder, and manslaughter, given the jury options of what to find based on the facts. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not bad. It's bad. It depends on the strategy of the prosecutor. I think if they just did second degree here, I would disagree with that as a former prosecutor.
They did that. They do that here in Arizona. That was the trial that I sat jury on. It was second degree murder or negligent manslaughter.
And again, it differs from state to state.
Right. And let's say hello to Paul. Hello, Paul Hadouken. And flirting around earlier was all, I really hate the logic money transfer. Just because it's not literally the physical dollar. Somehow that's not funding the terrorist, right? Exactly. So like when Shock said, we gave money to Iran, so therefore I was like, well, that's not technically. Wait, no. Yeah. Shock's right. Yes. And then,
well, it's just you're giving assets. Assets
Yeah.
are money, bro. Taxpayer assets. You're just giving it to them.
So, and then he has an analogy here. If I give you $20 and you buy ice cream when normally you wouldn't buy ice cream, I just bought your ice cream. Well, no.
I just found the People magazine article.
It's literally the
Trayvon
manager.
on the cover.
You own an ice cream store, and then the manager just decides to give a free carton away to some guy.
But his thing is also say I hire somebody to do a thing and I give them the $20 for it and then they go buy a weed with it. I therefore just enabled them to go and make themselves, hurt themselves or something. You know what I mean?
Well, you could say that of anything. I mean,
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
what? A lot of lawyers are known for liking cocaine, apparently.
Apparently.
We need Hollywood to start liking cocaine again.
It's not a chic drug anymore. It was in the 80s.
Damn.
And
Maybe
now
Don Johnson and Phil
and
Michael
now
Thompson.
everyone's worried about dying from fentanyl overdoses because they're cutting that shit.
That's crazy. Yeah, leave the kids alone and go do some coke, Tom Hanks.
Is that a Tom Hanks quote, or is that just saying Tom Hanks?
No, because he's into the whole like trans beauty pageant stuff with the kids.
What?
You've never seen this?
No.
Dude, yeah, he goes to like beauty pageants for minors that are transitioning and he cheers them on and he's all like,
Who?
Tom Hanks.
Is this because he was in Bosom Buddies?
It's I can't watch him ever again. He's a disgusting
What?
person.
I'm sorry. I gotta Google
Yeah,
this thing.
I'll find it. Thanks.
Oh, he's saying Obama had a legal team go and investigate Trayvon, still found nothing negligent. My bad.
And the same thing happened with Michael Brown.
Oh, toddlers
DOJ
and
investigated
TRs,
that.
yeah.
Didn't find anything.
So the last time we did this show was last Monday, which was the day before the primary. And we all know how that went. Trump won. Should have been bigger. And I've got one example. There was two examples on video of why it didn't go bigger. And I just want to show this one.
Oh.
Christian, who did you vote for and why?
Yeah, so thank you. I voted for Nikki.
Look how
Oh
he
my
had to look
God.
at the camera. He's not talking to the dude. He is trying to send a message,
Wait, he needs to
right?
say,
Like this
"Oh."
isn't an interview. This is him this is his mom. This is his moment, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because he's a kid. He's
Yeah,
a
well,
millennial.
He's a fucking psycho. Anyways, we'll get there.
Nikki Haley was certainly a strategic vote. I think that the DNC is fairly resolute in their nomination for Joe Biden. And while I wouldn't vote for her in a general election, particularly on our differences with climate change solution, a women's right to bodily autonomy, or incarceration rates, I think a vote for Nikki Haley helps diminish Trump's influence in the RNC and their nomination, but is also a vote towards democracy.
And Christian is emblematic.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me point out something right here. This person is a sexist because he is already taking out a woman. He will not vote for a woman. He will vote for the old white man. He will vote for her now. But if it's Haley, an old white man, he's going to vote for the old white man.
It was never about identity.
He is a fake identity politic person. He is not a true SJW because you should absolutely go for the identity. And more than that, Nikki Haley is a woman of color.
She's a little brown woman from North Carolina.
This
South
guy
Carolina.
is a fucking loser who has nothing better to do than vote against Donald Trump.
But he will not vote.
Loser.
He will not vote. You know what I would have done? I go, so you're telling me, sir, that you're voting for Nikki Haley now, a female person of color, but in the general election, you will vote for the old white guy.
Hold on. Leading the witness. We haven't gotten there yet.
Like of so many conversations that I've had here throughout the day. Rachel?
Alex, Christian.
Damn it. He doesn't say it. This is the other one that he said he was going to vote for Joe Biden after voting for Nikki Haley. These are the dumbasses
Lord.
that are registering as Republican to go and vote in these elections, which you could do that in the state that I live in. You could change your.
Why do you hate women? Why are you voting against a person of color over an 83-year-old senile white man? Sir, you are a racist, you are a sexist, and I dismiss you, sir. Good day. You get nothing.
You get nothing.
Good
You
day.
lose.
Oh yeah.
She's the
She's Indian like 7-Eleven, not Indian like Firewater.
Still
How
person of
dare
color
you
under
compare
current
her to the
definition.
greatness of Vivek. I am on the slushy. I'm drinking the slushy. We're on
You're
the
drinking
Vivek.
the Vivek slushy. I'm
Yeah.
drinking- I'm on the Vivek slushy too.
Yeah,
Except
we're
he
on
did
the
something.
Anyone
Oh,
knows
he-
that Ron?
Damn it. All right. Maybe we've got a soft segue here because it was Vivek who kind of brought up the Taylor Swift
stuff.
psyop.
He did. He sure did. And he nailed the hamster thing, dude.
The interesting thing about Vivek is first off, of course, we saw him just pick up MCU out of nowhere on
It's
FNT.
crazy.
He's keyed in. He's young enough to be keyed in to the cultural aspect of the SJW wars going on. All the culture wars, all the political identity wars. He's much more savvy,
Section
I think,
230.
than
He knows about the
well,
internet
he's
more.
way more savvy
Yeah.
than Ron DeSanctimonious.
Oh
Wonder
my
why.
god.
I wonder
Ron,
why.
see,
Might
I
have
said
something
this.
to do with his age.
Yeah, I said this years ago, dude. I'm like, look, I like what Ron DeSantis is doing in Florida, but that dude is he's a military.
He is not a military dude.
Dude, he is a military dude. He would start a bunch of wars, dude. Even as VP,
No,
as president or VP, he would have started tons of wars.
let
He
me tell you
loves Israel. That dude would have given so much money to Israel.
I let me tell you why I don't think he's a military dude. And I know he was in the Navy. He's a JAG officer. Okay. I looked into becoming a JAG officer. Okay. He's a fucking lawyer. The worst thing, he's on stage going, I remember when I went in with the SEALs. Don't say you went in with the SEAls. That's bullshit. That's like, you're not right. Look, I've actually been on raids with police officers serving warrants. I was stuck in the middle of like a breach team because that's what I had to do. They're like, come on, we're breaching. Ron DeSantis was not going in to a freaking Taliban Al-Qaeda hideout.
Yeah, but he was passing laws that prohibit and censored any
passing-
criticisms of Israel and wanted to give more money to Israel.
Trump did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. But he wasn't going to
Actually,
give him a
Jared
buttload of
Kushner
money.
did it.
Right, but Trump signed the bill.
He signed it, yeah, but he wasn't going to give him the money.
I have a question about the JAG officer thing.
Mhm.
Was it because you wanted to meet your Catherine Bell?
No,
Oh.
that's because I wanted to do a little service.
Oh, okay.
But I was told at the time that
I would have done it as a chance. Would have met a Catherine Bell hottie.
yeah, but she's also my buddy, my buddy who's a public defender met Catherine Bell. You know where he met her?
Ooh.
He was running for
depending.
judge. Do you know where he met her?
No,
At the Scientology headquarters in Clearwater.
of course. Why was he there?
Oh, he was running for judge. In Pinellas County, you have to court everybody.
Oh God. Ugh. So yeah. Ugh.
He said it was weird. He said it was weird. It's like, the
Did she still look
celebrities.
good? I said.
Oh, he said she was hot as hell. Yeah, she was hot as hell. But it's like, it's like, he's like, the celebrities were all very personal. They were great to talk to. It's like, you could see the other people. They're like, yeah, they're drones. It's weird. That's why I don't like going to downtown Clearwater. So.
All right.
Vivek was right, man. About
Do
the
we
whole
want to let's dive into the Keri Lake thing? I think that's going to take the most time.
Oh, I thought we're going to T Swift POTUS.
We could hit T Swift POTUS after. Well, let's see what Shock's got. I'm just worried that the Keri Lake thing's going to take a while. But let's see what Shock's got for the T Swift.
It's pretty quick. It's not too much, but yeah, he was right about the problems with New Hampshire because you don't have to like align with any party. You can just go in and vote. So that was. I wish he went in more into that versus just being more like cryptic. But this all started for me like in the beginning of the month. Excuse me. The Pentagon had to just confirm that Taylor Swift is not a Fed. And anytime you just randomly have to confirm something.
Can you zoom in on that?
Oh, yeah. To this or the body?
Yeah. Like do the article part.
Oh, the article part. Yeah. The Department of Defense clapped back at Fox News.
Who wrote this?
I have no idea.
Jesus Christ. What is
Nick Robertson?
Jeez, what is he? 12? Clap back?
Dude, that's what's funny because even like Jesse Waters was saying that we don't have any proof. It just really looks like a psyop because this is how it got on most people's radar. It's just out of nowhere. The Department of Defense had to confirm that Swift is not a Fed. But later, people like Benny Johnson and Jack Posobiec were digging up some interviews with the Department of Defense, how they were saying how important it is to be connected with influential people as a voting block, right?
And they
But-
use Taylor Swift as an example.
They use Taylor Swift as an example, but it gets even more weird because last year in July, there were tons of articles just like not that one. Where is it at? Is it this one?
About her generating income with her Eras tour.
Here it is. This is July. This is July of last year.
Yep.
Her income has caught the eye of the Fed because of how influential she is. So the stunning success of the tour is notable. So I mean, remember she had that movie too? She was the only like music video movie that actually sold out. I think Beyonce had one and nobody saw it. Beyonce didn't sell theaters the way Taylor Swift sold out theaters.
That crazy clip with the women in the white dresses dancing around the movie theaters.
Yes. So even in a pandemic, when the
Midsummer
economy is
shit
shot
right
to
there.
hell, Taylor Swift is selling out theaters.
This goes to the whole idea of fandom, though.
Mhm.
This crosses over to fandom because just as there are like MCU stands, Star Wars stands, we have Swifties who will, to their dying breath, support her no matter what she does.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying she's not talented. I mean, her music is not what I like, but she's
just
marketed
boring,
herself
plain,
fantastically.
Simple, basic bitch pop music, which has been the case for like the last 30 fucking years.
But
Yeah.
she's
Nothing
marketed
much to
herself. That's what she's done. She's marketed herself well, and she's got people to believe she's
she's
this
got propped up.
wunderkind.
She's been propped up.
I don't know.
She's
So
a
you're saying she's a Fed?
no.
Well,
Uh,
do you remember when her music got bought out by Spotify?
Yeah. Or
So
was it who was the guy? It was a guy.
It was a guy. Spotify sold her music to a shareholder who basically bought everyone else out, and he worked for a company that George Soros funds. So she was making a big deal out of it. You can't
The
just
scooter
take,
dude, right?
yeah, you can't buy my songs. And she specifically brought up George Soros.
Scooter Braun. That was the guy's name.
And so then it was Jack Posobiec that was kind of connecting the dots where it's like, she didn't start baking Joe Biden cookies and recording herself crying to her father, "You can't vote for Trump," until Soros tried buying her music. Then all this like providence to like the political sphere started becoming more prominent. My only steel man to that argument is that politics is pop culture. So if you want to be a part of pop culture, you got to be a part of politics. That's my only argument against it.
No, I'm gonna let me tweak that comment a little bit. So pop culture is a way to get people into politics who don't know anything about politics.
yeah.
Yes.
So that is the psyop.
Well, that's the
Yep.
culture is that our politics is downstream from culture.
Right.
That's all.
Right, which is of course what Breitbart was all about. But that's what it is. It's like, Taylor loves this Joe Biden.
Mhm.
I love Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Does Taylor know what Joe Biden's about? No. But Taylor's a Fed.
I don't like
Just
saying
like Ray Epps.
Yeah, I don't like saying that like retarded people shouldn't vote, but to stop the retarded people
You're
from
going to say
voting,
retarded people shouldn't vote.
the celebrities should stop telling the retarded fans to vote.
Also,
Like, that's
let me
the real
clarify, when
solution.
you use that word, you are not using mentally handicapped people. You're using people that are limited in thinking, because that
Yes.
is an actual way of that word. It is not always describing mentally handicapped people.
Mm-hmm. Slow off the mark. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only people that Taylor Swift is going to get to vote for Joe Biden are the people who are already going to vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah. But back to her success, I don't think she's propped it up. I think she was just cream of the crop. Like, hey, look how successful she is. Let's use
Oh,
her.
you think she's a grassroots indie effort that became big?
Oh no.
I mean,
At the
selling
beginning,
out to
she was.
studios to make music is different. I'm saying, like, when the Fed has you on, the Fed didn't prop her up. The music industry did.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The
Remember,
music industry propped her up. They found someone who she's not mid. All right, she's a little she's like a 7.75, right? That's a little outside of mid range.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's not fucking smoking hot, but she's good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
She's
can't
attractive
dance.
girl.
She can't dance.
Yeah.
She could kind of sing. She could sing. She could certainly sing better than I can.
She can
Yeah.
entertain. She can entertain.
Yeah.
And she knows how to write a damn good breakup song.
Yeah, that's what I hated. I wanted to make that point because I hated her
I'm
comment.
just waiting for the Kelsey breakup song.
What was her comment?
Oh, I know. I would have climbed the ladder faster if I was a man, and I was just like, "You are the biggest pop star right now. More people are going to remember Taylor Swift than Michael Jackson soon." Like,
Ooh, they did that to him. You might not be wrong. That's fucked.
Yeah, but you know
And
what
his
the worst
music
part
is
is?
so much better. His music blows Taylor Water out of the water.
Well, but
No, yeah.
Taylor Swift is generic pop shit. Michael Jackson, for all his
I know.
faults, whenever he did, Michael Jackson was a musical genius and innovator.
Yeah.
What
I'm
has she
saying
done?
nothing.
You know what she's done? First off, Taylor Swift, when she started, was a mid-level country singer.
Oh my gosh.
She was a country singer.
Yeah, I know she was country singer. I have
That's all she
people who
was.
used to like her
She transitioned into this pop thing,
for money.
and then
yeah.
she hit it.
Sold out. Yeah, she sold out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she's like the biggest pop star right now, and she's going to stay the biggest pop star because of her involvement in politics. And now the Fed is officially propping her up. Like, she's the biggest pop star ever. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I think she's trash, but everybody knows her and everybody likes her, and her fans are insane. And there are a lot.
Well, then the whole thing becomes, why is she so? Travis Kelce made one comment at some point. It's like, I think she's attractive. And all
Yeah.
of a sudden, look,
He gets money from Pfizer.
I said this the other, oh yes, he does.
He gets
I
money
said
from
this the
Pfizer.
other day to Heather. We're sitting there and I said the other day, I said, let me tell you what's going to happen. Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl and he's going to break out a ring on the middle of the 50-yard line to Taylor. And then they're going to go to Disney World together to celebrate their engagement.
All right, so here's the theory. Here's what people are thinking are going to happen. The NFL's been rigged for a while now, especially towards the Chiefs. But specifically this year, the Chiefs had to go to the Super Bowl because Taylor Swift is going to be the halftime show, right? Because it's a coincidence.
No, she's not.
No, she's
No.
not.
I
She's
know
gotta
she's.
play Japan the day before.
It's
I
Usher.
know. Yeah, I know.
And
I
Reba
know.
McEntire,
Yeah,
who's a loon in her own right.
I know. But they still think that at the Super Bowl, she could like endorse Joe Biden or have some sort of clip.
It would be after the Chiefs win. Yeah,
Yeah, it would be after the Chiefs win.
they still have to win. Okay.
They're going to.
So you think this is all predetermined? You agree with Razor Fist?
I think it's so predetermined, dude. Even though the 49ers are the better team, in my opinion, especially the last time Jimmy Garoppolo was the reason why they lost the last Super Bowl. But
Purdy
I think
got
it's
hurt
pretty
last
rigged as
year
hell.
too. Purdy got hurt.
Yeah, Purdy was hurt. I think Debo was hurt too. I think he might have just gotten back. He might have just gotten back from an injury.
No. Jimmy Garoppolo had that disgusting overthrow to Debo in the fourth quarter.
I'm talking about last year with Purdy when Garoppolo got injured early in the season.
Yeah, and then Purdy came on, and then Purdy got hurt.
Yeah,
and he was their third string.
Yeah.
Always better than their first string, bro.
Yeah,
that's so crazy. It's
like,
sad.
what was he like, the last draft pick or something? I mean,
no, he wasn't. He's no Tom Brady.
Yeah, no.
Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady when he started.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Tom Brady was like the 36th pick or something like that.
I mean, Tom Brady came in to replace Bledsoe.
Yeah,
And
I
then
know.
I've watched his college tape. I didn't think he looked that good.
Anyways, stop calling Taylor Swift a psyop. People think you're weird. Shit, stop using the word psyop.
That's true. I don't like that word
word
either.
gets used so much. Just call it bullshit when it's bullshit, right? Like a psyop sound when you're calling everything a psyop, you sound like a psyop.
Can
Sure.
we just say she's a government agent?
I don't want to get clapped back by the Department of
Yeah,
Defense.
because I would hate to see an article saying I'm being clapped back.
You're gonna get
'Cause
clapped back.
that's what professional journalists say.
Yeah.
That's Lois Lane.
Just call her a glowy.
We clap back at Superman saving the bus of children. What the
Wait,
fuck?
what?
This is journalism.
I just think that someone, the most powerful man in the world, trying to buy her music is just very interesting, and it's confirmed a lot of like my gut feelings about Taylor Swift suddenly being in the NFL limelight.
So isn't she like, I don't know if she did this, but isn't she like in the middle of like rewriting all of her original work to put it
Yeah,
back
she's
out?
re-recording it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I understand.
she's re-recording it so she can own it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of cool because, fuck the Soros people and all that, especially his son. Who
Well,
just,
she became a huge Joe Biden supporter all of a sudden after that. That makes no sense.
I don't know if
Well,
George
yeah,
Soros
because
had
George
to
Soros
step- I
has
don't know if
nothing
George
to
Soros
do
had
with the
step in to
Democrats.
convince her to be a Biden supporter as opposed to all of the like you're right, she could have just stayed quiet. But
Mhm.
also there's a lot of people out there saying silence is violence.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
true.
it might not have anything to do with Soros. Not saying that it doesn't, but she doesn't like the Soros people either.
No one's like claiming they have proof of anything. That's what Jesse Waters said, and I agree with him. It's just we've had this strange gut feeling about Taylor Swift. Why is she always at every like Chiefs game? Why is she always getting all this publicity when no one cares? I hate going
Dude.
that.
It's kind of itchy, isn't it, Forkin? It's a little itchy.
Don't dip your pen in unknown inkwells.
You know
Oh
what?
my God, with this
Next
guy.
Thursday, ask Steve about that.
I think we're just following a trail to something a lot of people's gut feelings had off about her.
Little penicillin, it's all good.
Uh,
All right. Now
Keri
on
Lake.
to corruption. Well, a different kind of corruption, I guess. Sorry, not sorry. So last week, Keri Lake, the woman who ran for governor of my state, and literally, I don't know if I can say literally, but had an election stolen from her because broken machines and bad printer paper and all these things, and they didn't want to redo the election
Why
because
would you?
oh, too
Why would you?
bad,
It's too much effort. It's too much effort.
right?
We'll work it out later on.
Yeah,
mm,
fuck you, YouTube. Yeah, fuck you, YouTube. It's weird how so we had the thing back in what was it 2000 the hanging chats no
Yes.
that was,
Yep.
was it
Yes, that was
2000?
2000. Yes, that
Okay.
was here in Florida. We had hanging chats.
Yeah, so we had the hanging chats and we didn't have another issue until when?
2016.
Well, but 2016 we had all of the we had a lot, taxpayers paid a shit ton of money for looking into that election and Russian interference. And
found
I
nothing.
believe
Well,
it all summed
let's
up.
point out that
Yeah,
there are people that still deny the 2016 election, including Hillary Clinton, and she is okay. That's fine.
Right.
But if you deny the 2020 election, you're an insurrectionist.
Well, so back with the Russia thing, I believe Russia's involvement of interference on the U.S. election of 2016 was summed up to about $17,000 spent on Facebook ads.
I think it was $100,000.
Maybe it was 70. It was
That-
under 100. It was
we'll
a
split
way
it. We'll
lower
split
number
it.
than I was ever expecting to hear.
Right.
That same, like,
wait,
if-
no, wait, you are wrong, sir. My understanding from Rachel Maddow and MSNBC is that all the machines were rigged.
Uh
I think
Right.
that's what I've heard. They rigged all the machines. It was all
2016.
Russian agents that were voting
Yeah.
for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who's also been a Soviet agent since the 1980s.
No, they fixed it though. 2020, it all got fixed.
Well, they did fix
Right.
it in 2020. But you know what? We fortified the election.
It was
There's an
the reason,
actual article.
the reason why the election looked weird is because there was like water main bursting and we had to stop counting the vote and
They
In 2020,
fortified the
these kind
election
of
because
things
Michael
that look-
Pence refused to fortify the election.
Ignore Mike Pence. Ignore Mike Pence.
Yeah,
Ignore Mike
we're
Pence.
still on election night where we had all these weird things that kind of look like some banana republic shit going on.
No, that's
Oh.
that's fortification.
Oh, right. Thank you, Time Magazine, for letting us know how it
In
works.
fact,
and
I
the
still
fuck
have that
with shit.
article saved in case it ever gets deleted. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Saved. It's on my Dropbox.
Oh.
The
I love how
secret
that's-
history of the shadow campaign that saved the
Oh, yes.
that saved the
Oh
2020
my
election.
God, yes, that's stupid article.
A weird thing happened right after the November 3rd election. Nothing. The nation was braced for chaos. Liberal groups had vowed to take this to the streets, planning hundreds of protests across the country. Right-wing militias were gearing for right-wing militias. Where were there all these militias? Oh, wait, it was the right-wing militias that attacked on January 6th with no weapons. Where were all the weapons? This is the worst insurrection ever. Where are the weapons? Oh, I have a comment. I'm going to save it for later.
Hmm.
So real quick, Professor Savage, Dad, she doesn't have relationships or sex. There's nothing about her that's sexual at all. There was a guy on
She's like a
Barstool that
Terminator.
was like at the beginning of all of this Kelsey Taylor Swift stuff, who was all like, I'm not buying it until I see the sex tape.
So I see P and B. P and B.
Have you heard
Maybe a
about this
little
green
P&M.
line thing?
P and M.
What?
Have you heard about this green line thing?
Uh,
I saw this today where someone was saying like I don't know if it was a temple or something, but it's like a green line where they position like if the man is leaning into the woman, he's more
Oh.
into her than she is to him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
So
they're like
I've
all the
seen that
pictures
around.
But
I feel like
Kelsey's
that's a
6'5".
That's what I was gonna say. I'm 6'7". I have to lean down. There's
Yeah.
no getting around it. Like,
Well, you're a cock.
yeah, that's it.
Kelsey's a piece of plastic too, bro.
Yeah. He's just as
Like,
fake.
he's
You're
a-
absolutely-
he's
you're
an- he's a-
100% correct.
He's a perfect mouthpiece. Like he's very charismatic and is willing to just roll with any punches.
Well, I know a guy who's buddies with Kelsey. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, tell him I think he's overrated, and I've always thought that.
Tell my friend to tell your friend to tell Kelsey.
he's
Yeah.
overrated.
This internet cat I'm friends with thinks you're overrated. All
So
right,
here's our secret backroom.
here's the E
Well,
EFAP.
hey, my question first off, how many party consent state is Arizona?
I don't know.
I think it's just. I
Is
don't
it a
think-
one party consent?
Yeah. I can record anybody.
No
Okay.
shitballs. I'm not going to Arizona.
Huh?
I'm not going to Arizona.
Why?
Really?
One party consent? You can record
Yeah.
anyone you want?
Yeah.
Do that.
Nah.
Well, okay.
I'm cool.
So
with it.
that yeah, let's get into this and then keep like those kind of questions are definitely for the end. We're gonna EFAP this here. It's 10 minutes long. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Be
This is like a
warned.
movie.
They're gonna
I've
have-
heard it's
My cat
edited.
is freaking out now. Hold on, I'll be
I
right
hear
back.
your cat.
You guys chat.
Is
I'm
that
gonna go
your
check-
cat?
See what the hell my cat's doing. I'll be back.
It could be my dog. Do you hear snoring?
My dogs are all. I don't know. My one dog is having.
Yeah, a lot of
gastric
people on
logic
Twitter saying this is taken out of context and it was massively edited. This 10-minute clip doesn't have enough context to to actually describe what he meant by drop out of the race. What's your price?
But if you say drop out of the race, what's your price? That's
Maybe they were talking about House of Cards. Remember
Someone
season
getting in a push in
2?
front of a subway.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, she interviewed was it Glenn Beck, because originally she wanted to give the tape to Glenn Beck to break it.
Hmm.
So she was saying how she got bribed right before she went to go give a speech at was it CPAC or something? Not CPAC. Where did she just go to? I forgot. She had just went somewhere to go give a speech. And before she could leave to go to give her speech, he calls her and says, "Hey, I need to have a conversation with you." And she's like, "All right, well, I gotta leave. So, tell me what it is." And he's like, "No, this needs to be in person." And she's like, "Why does this need to be in person?" So that's why she decided to record it, because your boss just says, "Hey, I have to come over to tell you something." It can't be on a phone or an email. So she went into why she recorded this. And then she changed up her speech to say, "Wow, I just got bribed to get out of office." And she didn't plan on wanting to release this recording until too many people doubted her. And she was like, "All right, I'll show you the proof then."
Was this on a Rumble thing the day after she released it?
No, this was on Blaze with Glenn Beck.
Okay.
She basically,
I didn't see that.
he got a call from him right as she was going to, I think, CPAC or something. She was going to give a speech. And he called her saying, "Hey, we need to have a quick conversation." And she's like, "All right, well, I'm free because I have to go somewhere." And he was like, No, it needs to be in person. And she's like, "Well, why can't it be a phone call or an email? Why do you have to see me in person?" So that's why she recorded the conversation, because he's called her saying, "We need to talk in person."
Okay, and then he's not her boss. He's just the Republican chairman.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he was.
Yeah. well,
was.
all right, so let's listen to this.
Try to have me murdered.
Wait.
Don't tell people.
They're gonna try to have me murdered.
Not either. Today's world, man. If that stuff that came out last week is right about the cartel stuff, man. They say the cartel's operating in 50 states right now. Like all 50. You know? So.
How come we haven't heard anything about that?
Oh, I know.
Like that was one of the first things I heard from this, and I'm like, huh? What?
That is like what a domestic terrorist is.
You know what
just
the average
allowing
American thinks about the cartel?
It's all down on the border.
It's only in Mexico.
Yeah. But yet, how do the drugs get into the system?
in Chicago, in Minnesota.
The problem is, I think the problem is the perception of what the cartel is. So when you say cartel, you're thinking of like the operation itself. Like,
right, the dudes with the machine guns fighting the big ass black.
No, they're just tax evaders.
Yeah, but the cartel is also the agents they have up here, right? It's the people who's distributing, it's the people who's cooking the books for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's just organized crime. That's all it is. It's the mafia, just Mexico. Yeah, Mex Mafia.
They used to sell avocados at one point when California made them illegal.
What?
You don't remember that?
You mean like on the corner of the freeway?
No. California halted avocados for a while, and the cartel started smuggling avocados across. And then
when was this?
2020, I think.
That can't be right. There's no way California would live without avocados.
We found a way. Maybe that's why we're okay.
Oh no, they stopped selling. They stopped selling their own, and they only imported them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what shock means.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you're like they outlawed avocados. I'm like, we're
No,
all
I
these
didn't say
fucking liberals getting their avocado.
I didn't say they halted it for a bit.
Oh, that's what I thought.
They
you
weren't.
saying.
No, they just halted it. They weren't like distributing it for a bit for some stupid reason.
I'm like, when I think California, I think avocado toast. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah. It's delicious down here, and it used to be cheap. Avocados used to be super cheap.
What was that? The 2015 meme?
Yes, I I stopped eating avocado toast when it became a thing because it used to be like we have food at home, and then that's what like your grandma would make you or something.
Still, yeah, Jesus Christ.
Cyber Ninja, you're not the only person who says that.
Static's weird. Cyber Ninja, you put that in the spank bank, buddy. You and me both. We're normal people. Static's weird.
I'm not into it.
He's not into it. He's a weirdo.
Too short. The hair's too short. The hair's
Yeah, I don't like the hair.
I love Keri Lake too. Hail Cyber.
I mean, I think she's attractive, and I think she's an interesting personality, but
You're
the hair is not my
insane.
type.
You got to watch that every morning. I'm jealous. Well, I watched
It's not
Weather
like
in
I chose to
Spanish.
watch it. It's the shit my mom turned on.
Well, we got Rachel Maddow growing up, so be happy.
Ew. All right,
They got
all
the
right.
same hair. Come on.
Let's get. We're 15 seconds in. Let's push on.
Oh my God, we've been here forever.
So what's going on? Who is it? What?
Forget the who. Let me just tell you the what. I just say there are people calling around saying, gosh, no, they can't repeat this. Never repeat this. If you say no, don't. If you say, I got offered to buy out.
Stop. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop for a second.
Because then
Stop.
we lose.
This sounds so badly acted.
The thoughts crossed my mind as well.
Yeah. I mean,
This
something about the dude just does not sound right to me.
he sounds like a slimeball Republican to me.
It sounds like he's trying too much to do a movie script.
Yeah, it's a sales pitch. He's giving her money. Do you think he was expected to get turned down?
Brad, are you implying that this is not authentic?
There's some lack of truth. Some elements that seem fictionalized for dramatic purposes.
For Keri Lake
Effect.
dramatic purposes?
Possibly.
Like,
So
like, is it
I
cahoots?
will.
I would well, since he resigned, it would have to be for Keri Lake's dramatic purposes.
I will entertain that. I don't know why you would make such a stupid move for a candidate who isn't as popular as I think she should be. This definitely helps her more than anything. I will entertain that, but
So,
I think
okay,
the
what I'm
story
trying to ask
checks
is,
out.
Brad, do you think that Keri Lake set this whole thing up like this is all bullshit?
I think it's possible.
I kind of do too.
I just think something about, first off, the way this guy is talking, there's a lack of authenticity to his. Go back to the, step back for a little bit.
Yeah.
And listen to how he's talking. It's almost too scripted.
I kind of agree.
What's going on? Who is it? What?
Forget the who.
Forget that.
Let me just tell you the what.
Let me tell you the what.
I just say there are people calling around.
Look, all right, stop right now.
Gosh, no, they can't repeat this. Never.
I feel like this is Will Arnett as Job on Arrested Development.
Damn, no.
I don't want to say anything, but I'm going to say something.
Fuck.
I want to tell you the people out there, but there are people out there. We're gonna get whacked.
Not a
We're gonna
loser.
get whacked.
Not magic,
gonna-
Carrie.
I'm gonna put my car. I'm gonna put my key in the car, and it's gonna blow up. Well, first off, no one puts a key in a fucking car. It's 2024. We just walk
what
in
the
through it
fuck
and we
are
open
you
the door.
talking? What are you talking about? You don't have keys for your car?
You don't put a key in a car. You open the door. This guy has a car
What are you
you have to
talking
put
about?
a key
No,
in.
he's talking about putting it in the ignition.
You
Yeah.
fucking lost me.
No
But
one
you're-
puts a
I don't know
car
what
key
you're
in the
talking
ignition.
about.
I put a key in the ignition, and you know what else?
you lost
My car
me.
has 3 fucking pedals.
This rich ass lawyer's like, you use keys to open your car?
I'm sorry you got your Model T there.
Uh,
How many horses do you have under your hood?
Not enough. I need to get some goats
But
too.
what he's talking about, I'm gonna put the key in the car. It's gonna blow up. I'm like, what? Dude, this is like Chinatown. This is the French Connection, and not even well acted. Keep going.
Yeah.
Repeat this. If you say
Honestly, I was at that point the first time I listened to this, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was like, this.
The more I've heard it, I'm like, this is total bullshit.
I disagree.
no, don't. 'Cause I got offered to buy out.
Yeah.
Don't use it. Because then we lose our ability to get things done in the future.
My problem. Rather than just say, let's work with her, she's a great candidate. Because they don't own me. And it pisses me off.
Yeah, I said I know it's about ownership.
Where's the microphone?
It's about control.
I don't know,
It's
in her
her phone.
vagina.
It's her phone, and she was
her
like
phone?
putting it back in her purse or something.
Well, first off, it's too clean. It's too clean.
It is not clean.
That's not, dude.
It cuts in and out.
James O'Keefe gets pretty damn good audio, and he intentionally fucks it up.
I don't know it's about control. It's about being on the team. I guess that's, you know what I mean?
They want to be on the team.
They want you to be on their team.
Who talks like that?
That's my point.
Like this sound that kind of that's like Hollywood drama.
Bad Hollywood drama.
Yeah.
It's a Lifetime special crime drama. They want you on their team. Who's what
But if they're pushing a globalist agenda, I can't do that.
How much more on the nose can you get?
Who is going to
We
promote?
don't even know what the fuck they're talking about at this point in time. Right?
the people you're talking about. If they are all full-on communists pushing a globalist agenda and a one world hegemony with everything run by Bitcoin, I cannot stand for that.
Who's going to fund this stunt though? Who is funding? Who is like doing this stunt for an America
But think about
First?
this.
Okay,
This guy
candidate, though.
resigned because of this.
Right.
Yeah,
Why
that's
is
what I'm
this guy
saying.
falling on the sword? That's what doesn't make any sense.
Okay,
about it.
so
if this is all fake, why is he falling on the
If
sword?
Why
I
is he not
agreed-
dead?
Well, I get criticized for calling things psyops. So then I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then people are just stupid because I want to believe. So this helps Keri Lake, which means it must be manufactured. It must have been planned. But or do I think, you know what? People who run government are just that stupid. I shouldn't be
Wait,
so
think of-
conspiratorial.
Let me ask you this. So, the way this is playing out here, Keri Lake is aware, there's an awareness in her interaction with her responses. If they're pushing globalist agenda, I can't be part of that. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
What are you saying? Are you bribing? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Who's
that's
playing-
so
who are you
on the
talking
nose.
I don't know.
If I
what
was a
you're
person,
talking
like, let's say I'm like, I'm running for office and I'm gathering like a populist steam here, and someone's like, oh, we can't let this guy get in. We got to get to him. We got to get him to drop out. He's too popular. He's gonna upset the agenda. Brad, we look
So I guess
powerful
okay.
people. Who the powerful? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
So the biggest problem is with what we're saying here, Brad, you and I, is that this recording doesn't start at the beginning of the conversation.
That's true.
So we don't know everything that's set
Oh
up.
my fucking god.
What?
What, they were supposed to greet her? The greet? Oh, hi, come on in.
No.
The clip's long enough.
Thing is
No,
so-
but that adds to authenticity.
It
don't
does help with
fucking
the
care.
authenticity, but also it doesn't
Stupid.
because they're already talking in the context that they understand who they is.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even gotten he hasn't even said anything in regards to the hiring or anything yet, right? We're only a minute and 9 seconds in, and there really hasn't been any sort of offer made. All it's like let's go back and just pay attention to what she said.
Don't tell people. I know.
They're going to try to have me murdered.
So
That's
we
the
start
first
off the
thing she
conversation.
says.
They're gonna murder me.
And now I'm not saying like that doesn't make this automatically fake by any means.
No.
But what I am saying is that I'm not going to believe it out the gate because I'm missing a lot. This sounds like they've been talking for at least 5 minutes. To say something like that?
Lord of the Rings, right?
What about Lord of the Rings?
Let me show. So there's 3 books in here. We got Fellowship, we got Two Towers, we got Return of the King, right? What if I just start in the Two Towers?
Oh my god.
Here, I just like
Oh,
Riders of Rohan. What if I start with Riders of Rohan? That's the chapter here. What if I just start right here? What has happened?
you're missing context. My biggest problem with this being set up, right? Like with this being bullshit, is why would he fall on the sword? You know,
No.
that doesn't make any sense.
He's
Well, I
sleeping with Keri
agree.
Lake. Allegedly.
That would be terrible for her. Look,
Yeah.
if that got out.
Okay.
Shock, you seem frustrated.
Well, it's I just disagree.
No, that's like, feel free.
It's fine.
So I'm not saying that I'm fully sold on it's fake. I'm just not fully sold on.
I
It's
agree
on-
this is a stupid move. So instead of me always calling things psyops, I just need to be like, hey, let me just think of a more simple answer, and it's just a stupid move. Because Keri Lake is not as popular as I think that she should be. There shouldn't really be any effort to try to air quote take her down, because I don't think she's only popular enough to be VP. I don't think she really has a chance to be any kind of
Oh, no.
representative or so this only helps her. So I'm like, well, then the thing is too, look at Lauren Boebert's gone because of something in her private life. Like more and more American first like representatives and politicians are being taken out by who I think are rhinos, like fake Republicans that hate America first, that hate people who endorse Donald Trump. So I don't think
No, they're Republicans. They are true Republicans.
who is a true Republican.
The rhinos are probably true Republicans. They're
Oh,
not
yeah, I was-
conservative.
Yeah,
Republicans.
yeah.
Rhinos, Republicans are the rhinos.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and I believe in the inverse, where I think like Donald Trump's the rhino because
Oh, Donald Trump is a rhino.
I think
But
that's
Donald
accurate.
Trump is Donald Trump.
yeah.
But that's looking at rhino as like not a derogatory term.
Yeah.
America First has not like dominated the Republican Party that I think is, because I think American First is more popular than the Democrats and Republicans.
Well, the real problem is, and we're going to get let's put a cap on this real quick. The real problem is the Republican Party is not what it used to be. The Republican Party, which I think the Republican Party is the party of Reagan, which had more conservative leanings. I think now the Republican Party is more towards a uniparty with the Democratic Party, which is where rhinos fall in. Republican name only, meaning more aligned with the Democrats as opposed to more Reagan Republicans.
I want to entertain like, hey, why would they do this? This only helps Keri Lake. It has to be. I don't even know who would even try to pull this stunt, because nobody is trying to help any American.
Well, maybe the
person.
guy actually wants to help
And
Keri Lake. What if that's
I'm
possible? What if he
I
actually
can't find
wants to
any
help Keri
info on
Lake?
this.
But he just sacrificed his paycheck.
Yes.
But if she wins, what does he become then?
I
I
don't know.
think it's silly to think
Well, if
there's
she
not
wins,
enough
he's dead,
context
right?
in this video, too.
That's right. Everyone's dead at this point. Let's keep going to the homicides.
And it's a 10-minute video. I don't saying there's not enough
We
context.
don't
is
want
silly.
the full 10 minutes is not what happens here. I mean,
I
we
just
get through it in the first couple minutes.
you will not win me on this. I think that is just such a silly argument.
I'm saying we don't have context to this point.
There's plenty of context.
Not to this point. A minute in.
Did you see her interview?
Riders
with,
of Rohan.
I don't know if that's a good analogy.
Yeah, but I'm picking up in the middle of the story.
Oh,
That's my point.
Okay, well then watch
picking
the
up a
watch the
chapter.
Blaze interview with Glenn Beck. She describes. I just explained it. What she said on Glenn Beck.
Wait. Oh, hold on. So what is she's describing what happened beforehand. A person giving her perspective on everything that happened before.
I laughed when she said this. She's like, I may have to release the whole recording then if no one's going to believe in the introduction 5 minutes of me saying, hi, come in. I made coffee. And I'm like, haha, yeah, no one's going to be that silly. But I guess I was wrong. She has to do the whole video.
When the video is we're all going to be murdered because of the grand cabal. Yeah.
Okay, then she has to release the full video.
Yeah.
Then all right.
It's
Well,
called
okay,
full
I don't know if there is.
evidence.
I don't know if there is a full video to be
Yes,
had
there
because
is.
We don't know.
Maybe she just found herself in this situation. She's like, I need to record this.
Oh
Okay,
shit! I need
this
to
is
start recording.
possible.
No, that's what
true.
she said. She didn't plan on releasing this.
Did she plan on
Her-
recording it?
Yes, I do. Fucking
Yeah,
yes.
he said that she did plan on recording because when she said that, when he said that it needed to be in person, it couldn't be done over the phone.
And she said like it was just like for my like she thought maybe he would assault her. Like that's what she was thinking. I don't know.
Oh,
What?
oh,
Yeah, he
Wow,
was just
she
like
said in the Blaze.
yeah, she was just like, look, why what you have to tell me can't be on a phone call, a Zoom call, or an email. Why do you have to come to my house? I just recorded it because I thought maybe he would attack me. I don't know. She didn't like word it in a way that was like he was gonna assault me. No, she was just like, why is this strange coworker coming to my house when he doesn't have to? That's all it was. That's why she recorded
You
it.
have conversations in person that are better than having over the phone.
this
But
is true, but
this-
those are
who-
like usually like really personal conversations, right?
Fair point. But
or in his office, not her house.
yeah, it could have happened at his. Well, maybe he's worried about bugs in his office.
Yep. It was a really. I think he's just an idiot. I just think the Republican Party are a bunch of idiots that hate
I'm not saying
American
they're
first.
not.
No, I agree. I agree with you 100% on that, Shock.
And I'm not
also-
getting up. Oh, sorry.
Keri Lake also made the claim that there's more tapes. Well, oh, actually, no, hold on.
No,
He's
she didn't say that.
No, he's claiming that. He's
He-
claiming that she said they have more that he needed to step down, and they and she's and her.
I'll tell you what she said. He said she could have more tapes on me, and she said I just have the one. So he must be worried that other people have recorded his conversations with him as well.
Okay, because his letter, I believe, stated that her team said he needed to step down or she was going to release more tapes. That was going to make him look worse. Personally, I don't know how you look much more worse than when there is an implied payoff involved in politics. How does it get any worse outside of maybe involving children or something terrible like that?
Yeah.
And threatening murder.
The murder stuff, like I don't think it was threatening murder, but they both did it in like jokingly manners, right?
Yeah.
Which this whole thing, so like that's kind of the thing, and like this doesn't make it fake either, because maybe they're just so used to it being in this political realm that they existed, where like that's just tongue-in-cheek behavior.
I think that's how they talk.
She's been in this realm for 2 years.
Okay, that's another thing I've always thought.
She's been in a
How
longer than that. I consider part of being in the news world part of that as well.
Well, because I've always wondered, like, how come these politicians can hear so much like evil stuff that happens and they don't talk about it? And I've always thought, well,
All
if
right.
there's no actual investigative like article that they can like quote to, most people are just going to take what they say tongue in cheek anyway.
I
Segue.
don't say a lot of shit.
I feel like we've squashed the Keri Lake stuff pretty well without even having to listen to it because we've all listened to it probably multiple times.
Mhm.
But repeat your question you just had, Shock, because that is
Oh,
perfect fucking question for this next bit.
I always wondered why politicians sometimes they'll just like mention some of the evil stuff that happens that the news never reports on it. So why don't they? Like they're aware that cartels are operating in just more than 2 states, more than 3 states, more than 10 states. How do they know that and they don't talk about it ever? All 50 states, like it's common knowledge.
Why didn't
Because
anyone shit on The Last Jedi in the mainstream media?
Because they were afraid of backlash.
It's a level of fear.
Access.
Oh, yes. Can you hold
It's
secrets?
fear of losing access. It's fear
Yeah.
of what people would do.
Yeah, no, I think access is the number one answer.
Why do people shill?
Because
Are you telling me that
Why?
all these people, you go watch a Grizzly video. Go watch a Grizzly video when he's doing all these people and their live reactions to all these shows. And I've watched some of these guys like years before. and they'd be critical of stuff, right? Like, I don't like this, I don't like this. Now it's like everything is wonderful now because they will lose that access. Whatever they think this access means. I don't get the swag bag, right? I don't get whatever they're giving out at the Marvels. If I come out of the Marvels and say it's a piece of shit, right? I'm gonna lose my Captain Marvel special figurine.
What's sad is
or
most of
something.
them actually never get the access, but they think one day they will.
Yeah,
Even worse.
Either that or even just like a free trip to Disneyland or some shit. I don't know.
So, do you think it's admirable to be like, well, if I spill all the secrets I know with my connections in both media, mainstream media, and politicians, I'll lose any chance at being representative? Is there any sort of like admiration to that?
Well,
Like being
explain James
realistic
O'Keefe.
here.
Hold on. Yeah, repeat that. Is there any what?
Like, is there any like good, like not like good deed, but so like if you have access to mainstream media and you're a politician and you just spill the beans, right? And then you lose any kind of chance of being voted into as a representative into office, is it worth spilling all you know and ruining your chance at being able to do what you want to do in representing your country? Is there any like admiration in that?
I think
Is it a balancing act? Is it a balancing act?
I think it's different now. I think there's a difference now compared to what it used to be, where access to an audience was much more limited. Because look, James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe has, right? But back in the day, back when I was a young kid, what did people watch tonight? They watched Walter Cronkite,
Fox,
Tom Brokaw. No, this is before Fox.
Oh boy,
way before Fox.
Yeah,
I'm talking the 80s. I'm talking the 70s. There were 3 networks. That's where you got your news.
dude, Fox used to never have news. I remember that from my childhood, and that's why I loved Fox.
Fox News did not start to the mid 90s. Fox started like in 1988. The Upstart Network. They had Married with Children. They had The Simpsons. That was it.
And
basically.
cartoons.
Yeah.
Right. That was it. Then they had a news division. And the other one was CNN. CNN was the upstart. You guys probably don't remember the Gulf War. Gulf War.
I do. I remember that shit. That shit
The
interrupted
Mexican
my
Gulf War?
cartoons.
The first Gulf War. Remember?
Peter Jennings. Fuck you.
Peter Jennings was ABC. Peter Jennings was ABC. But it was Bernard Shaw.
The babies were on.
Bernard Shaw and another bunch of guys. They were in Baghdad when the bombing started. These guys were broadcasting from a hotel in Baghdad when the bombing started in 91. And I remember this because I had just turned 18 and I'm like, holy shit, am I going to get drafted?
Yeah.
So that's, that's
Keri
my
Lake
adult
went to the
world.
Blaze. She didn't. She went to the Blaze. She went to an independent media company.
But that's the thing. There was a point where they were not any of these other media companies. So it's like we had to pay. These guys were willing. Why did these? I don't get why these shills, whatever, with social media, whatever. Why do you want this access now? Because there's so many other ways to get information and get your voice out there.
Yep.
I mean, look, we're doing a freaking show right now. Maybe there's 5 people watching. Maybe it's just us on other streams, whatever. But the thing is, there was a time that people could not do this. There's a time when none of us had a channel. Like I just did my Doctor Who video. I had 1,300 views, which is cool for me. I like that.
Back in the 90s,
that means people are watching it.
Back in the 90s, if you were to tell someone you had a channel, they'd be like, "What?
Well,
yeah,
pirate radio? What?" Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, what was that? With Pump Up the Volume,
like Wayne's
Christian
World.
Slater, Christian Slater, Wayne's World. That was like rebel broadcasting back then.
Not independent media is
Yeah,
the
you know
free
how you
press.
get independent media? This is your independent media.
The free press is social media now.
This is independent media.
Yep.
This is it. That's why the main media is scared.
They're controlling our speech.
That's why the main media is scared.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's why they're dying.
So I've decided, like, with the exception of just being proper, you don't have to censor yourself on my YouTube channels anymore.
What do you
Because
mean?
I don't want to play that game. Like, I mean, we don't need to be saying bundle of sticks every other word.
Oh,
Like,
Well,
you know what I
I'm
mean?
just
Like, if you're worried about like saying something about an election or something like that, just go for it.
Well, I'm personally offended that I can't say things on YouTube that I would say in open court, in a public forum, in
Yeah,
open
that's
court.
insane. Yeah.
Feel free
I'm like-
feel free to do that on my channel because I'm not going to hold back anymore.
Oh.
Because a lot of the YouTubers that I like Kyle is one of them, and he just doesn't hold back, and he's got 70,000 subs, and he's not monetized because of the way that he is. And you know what? He's not even egregious with his words.
No.
I'm like, I don't understand why we have to use the word drape. I'm sorry. It is a crime. I can't use the word theft. I can't use the word murder. Rape is an actual crime. It is a crime. It is a fact of law.
Yeah.
It is. I would process, and in the state of Florida, it's called sexual battery. But in other states, it is called the crime of rape. It is an actual criminal charge.
Yep.
It is a factual charge. If I'm reading a news article and it says so-and-so was charged with rape, what am I doing other than reading a news article?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an allegation of a crime.
So, okay. So kind of like to what Shock was asking about, like going to the media and stuff. Are either of you familiar with this image here, with this video?
I don't know this one.
So this came out last week.
Okay, I haven't seen this one.
This is we're just gonna watch the intro. We're not gonna watch the whole thing.
Oh,
You know how, like,
OMG Media.
you know how they do that intro for like 30, 40, 45
Yeah,
seconds or whatever. The hot
Yeah.
the high
It's a stinger.
yeah, the stinger. Yeah. We're gonna watch that.
Hey, you're not a Trump fan, are you?
No, John needs to die. John needs to die.
Huh?
I said, well, then John needs to go. Majority of the work that I do is policy because that's what my degree is in.
Policy.
It's focused in policy. And so I do that's why I go to a lot of embassies and a lot of events at the White House.
That sounds. You were the White House?
I go to the White House.
So do you have to keep your mouth kind of shut because you're working for a Republican? You can't say.
Well, I don't.
How did they get that
I really
shot?
keep it to myself.
So you're like besties with Nancy.
That's a good question.
I don't like that shot.
It's interesting.
That means there's someone else there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
and maybe for his protection.
He works for the government. Oh yeah, he works for the government.
Yeah, he's Capitol Hill intern. So hold on. Yeah.
For
Okay.
Republican.
Love him.
I'm cool.
My picture of Nancy Pelosi and I is on my desk.
I don't know
Oh,
if your
lucky.
constituents would want to know that though.
Paul, get in
Why
here.
does he sound
We gotta find this
special?
guy. 'Cause
Huh?
He is.
Why does he
What?
sound special?
He's on a date. With James O'Keefe.
No, he has like a slur.
Yeah,
his speech.
he's flaming.
He sounds slow.
No,
Oh, you think he's
flaming.
baked?
He's a flaming black homosexual.
Why does he sound like he's mentally deficient?
I'm-
Because he's turned it up to 11.
Are you a homosexual?
If he's on wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry.
I swear to
Okay,
God,
stop,
you're
stop,
Dale's
stop.
cat.
I can do all the freaking King of the Hill voices.
I'm sorry. This is a date. What the fuck is he wearing? What is he wearing?
I don't know.
You go on a date like this?
I
Is
want
this
to know
what gay
how
dudes do?
I want to know how anyone in Washington D.C. doesn't know who James O'Keefe is.
Yeah, who the fuck
Yeah,
doesn't know who
that's-
James O'Keefe? I mean,
He's
he's
just-
not
They actually, there's a clip of that in here that like
gets
someone-
stopped at
they
TSA.
go out in public, they go out in public and like do stuff, and someone says, "Aren't you James O'Keefe?" And he like asks the guy, he's like, "I don't know who that is. Do you know who John O'Keefe is or whatever?" And tried to like play with it or whatever. But,
and
like,
then they pull him aside like, I love what you're doing, dude.
and this Titus Warren dude has never heard the name James O'Keefe.
Yeah, you know why? Because he's in a fucking bubble.
Yeah,
Because he's a Democrat. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, let's keep going. I also want I want to watch past the intro and into like the James O'Keefe setup where he like explains who Titus Warren is at the very beginning.
Uh-huh. But they'd be
They
pissed
don't
off.
care.
But they don't care.
If they do, they kiss the crack of my ass. There's a lot of things that I do hear, and there's a lot of things that I see with my own eyes. Madison Cawthorn wasn't lying either.
Madison Cawthorn wasn't lying either. That's a double
fuck.
That man in a wheelchair, that video that came out with the guy in the Senate office building in the hearing room.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Okay,
Yeah.
the guy was blackmailed.
He was blackmailed?
Pretty much.
Whoa.
So most members, they actually have spouses, so they're married. They have affairs with other council people, Congress people, Congress members in office. And they have like parties and stuff.
Like you're talking about sex parties.
Yeah, they
Whoa.
want to talk a lot.
So these parties are like, it gets hot and heavy.
Yeah, it's like an in-house thing. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But 9 out of 10 times, everybody in there knows. But they actually, that is a fact.
So that bit right there where that 9 out of 10 times thing is right after O'Keefe had just asked him about why doesn't the media, and he's like, well, some of them don't know, and then it's like an unspoken thing if you do know.
Do something sexual and they blackmail. Have you seen that?
So it happens every now and then.
But they get blackmailed.
Exactly. That's
Holy
because it's like they have a leverage of, like, if you have something like that, it's called leverage. And so what they do, they use against you to get something else. Majority of the members that come late are always 9 out of 10 times come over from the night before.
From the sex party.
So on the voting, you already have a piece of paper that tells you how to vote. Known as a suggestion. It's not a suggestion.
It's not a suggestion.
It's what we need you to vote.
Because we know we have information about you.
Right. They have a group chat that they tell people how to vote.
They tell people how to vote.
Yeah.
And they get information about them and use it as blackmail.
In a way, yes.
Well, I mean, I've never been to a party like this. I've been invited to them. My instant reaction to that is, especially the blackmail piece that it seemed like this individual was talking about in this piece. That's something that I experienced firsthand.
But doesn't it make you feel like...
That's why he came out and said what he said and is no longer there.
Oh, and remember on our other show, that's why when they got photos of Matt Gaetz partying, nobody cared because he only partied with women. He wasn't partying with a dude.
Oh, this guy in this video, this guy says several times, men with men and women with women.
Yep.
Partying like that. Like he says it several times in this video that, yeah, there's gay shit going on here.
That's the only blackmail that they care about, especially if you're a Republican, because your voter base is not gonna, one.
Lindsey Graham is, for God's sakes.
Dear Lord. I hope they release the blackmail they have on.
I don't want to see
Nancy
any of this
Pelosi.
shit. No,
they better release the Nancy Pelosi blackmail right now.
That explains why she got the boob job, probably.
That boob job happened forever ago.
Yeah, but it was
they're
installed
saying
early
now.
for this.
God damn.
Yeah, here's the thing. All right, wait. So now, mind you, it's been a long time since I've been on a first date. But why the hell is this dude just like spilling the beans? Does he want to get blown that bad?
I think so. Yes,
I think they get high off it.
Is James O'Keefe that good looking?
A lonely dude, lonely guy, and he thinks he's got someone on the hook. This.
First off, you show up to a date like this. I mean, it's like
the
you show up to a
pharmaceutical
date like
guys
this.
are all
This
losers.
is he's poorly dressed.
Well, hold on. We get a better image of him dressing, which I don't know how they get this shot. Someone explain this shot to me when we see it. It's
Okay.
towards the end of this intro.
I get my check and I'm good.
You get that money.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's all
I like
about.
to buy nice things.
You like to buy nice things? So you get that money, you like to buy, what type of nice things do you like to buy?
I love a Louis. So the one thing I want is a jumper. I want the jumper.
I like a lot of things. That's it. That's what we look on.
Oh my God, that's James O'Keefe! How do you know who James O'Keefe is?
Hopefully the glasses don't fall off. I don't know about that. Dear Lord.
How How is this real?
All right, here, let me defend it. If you
I'm
already,
sorry. I'll
if,
be back. I need water. I'm sorry.
if you already got the footage of him saying all that stuff, it's not the end of the world if he catches you. I don't know. Yeah, this is retarded, bro.
So, okay, I can tell you right now why he's dressed like this.
Can you
He's
just
over-
skip to the part where they start fucking?
It's winter. This happened who knows how long ago.
Yeah, it's
But
winter.
Also, I know for a fact that James O'Keefe was actually on a phone call with this guy when he was in Florida hanging out with Luke Rudkowski.
Oh shoot.
Getting ready to do a podcast because he was late to this one podcast a couple weekends ago. And he was like, yeah, I got a phone call from this guy that we're doing a thing on. We're doing like a sting on or whatever you call it. And like he's like, yeah, I had to have a date over the phone and
Holy crap.
driveway. And this, I'm pretty sure this is what came out because there's other clips of it's just video where it's clearly a phone call. But yeah, this guy's dressed like this because one, it is winter in DC, and two, he is overweight.
Yes, he definitely looks like
Lots of
a
layers
woman
to
named
hide
Betty who
that.
owns All Red.
And then the glasses are just terrible. The glasses are absolutely terrible.
Oh, nasty.
But he works for a Republican. I forget who. I want to say maybe
Lindsey Graham, probably.
Who?
Oh, what
Lindsey
the fuck?
Graham.
It's a Republican office?
Yeah, he works in a Republican office.
Holy shit.
And he just spilled the beans on Washington, D.C. Stuff that has been theorized for quite some time.
Because he doesn't align with anyone. He doesn't have any beliefs or even an ideology.
So they were talking about the Louis Vuitton duffel, right?
Yeah.
And so they went to a Burberry store and went and looked at things. And like, that's the only, this guy's only working for money. This guy's just doing it because he wants a paycheck.
Yeah.
He wants that Louis V.
Like he just, exactly. He wants the D. He just wants a paycheck. Yes, he is politically minded, right? He's got his liberal takes on things.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't care that he's working for Republican, even though like he is kind of pushing Republican stuff through his job because that's what his boss is telling him to do.
Yeah.
He isn't necessarily influencing his boss, but he's seeing what is influencing. Maybe I don't know if it's his boss directly, but a lot of people in DC are being influenced and leveraged. I like how he had to explain what leverage was to James O'Keefe.
I know, right?
You can't imagine how James O'Keefe,
what is leverage?
He had to play it.
Oh, gosh.
And the fact that this guy is like, oh, let me explain it to you. I'm like, what the? Geez, you're so stupid.
Is a lonely guy. I think Static nailed it.
Lonely guy.
Lonely dude.
A little full of himself.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I was lonely and full of myself.
Also, I think that was my first answer is that they get off on it.
Yeah.
They get off on being
they feel important.
Yep.
They feel important.
Yep.
Show me a gay guy that isn't full of himself. I dare you. And that's not derogatory or anything. I just haven't.
I'm sorry. I just brought up my YouTube and I see Jeremy.
I was gonna say, yeah, is Jeremy still playing Power Worlds? We can ask him.
Gay. Derby's different. Derby's very different.
Jeremy's whatever Jeremy is. We don't know what he is.
What should I ask him? Jeremy, are all gay guys full of themselves?
I don't know.
All of our green monkeys are named Jeremy. Come on.
Yeah, we all named the green monkeys after him.
I bet gay guys wish they were full of themselves.
Ew. Kick him. Kick yourself. Go kick yourself. Damn.
All right. So now the non-pervy part of this.
We got the gay shit out of here.
What the hell? I'm sorry.
Green hair anti-liberal.
Wait.
Hello.
Hey, gal.
We just
Here's the thing, though.
Static.
Like, literally, like TSA stops James O'Keefe every time. Basically, is what he says. Like,
Dude, I think Tiff came right at the
Why do you
point-
come in at these times?
right at the time where you said, "You guys wish they were full of themselves."
It's a talent. It's a talent.
Good. Hey guys, slowly backs out. Bye.
I had not seen that one. I hadn't
That's
heard of it.
insane. Yeah, see, he doesn't. When it comes to influence, he's just smart enough to know who the Republicans' voter base is. That's all they
But
run
here-
by.
Here's the thing. It's not like this is the first video James O'Keefe has done where he's on a date with another gay dude.
Yeah.
right?
It's been a while.
Well,
There was
usually
that
he's
one
had
that
other
attacked-
people.
Well, there's that one he was on a date and the guy tried to beat the crap out of his iPad, thinking he'd have erased the thing.
Was that
Like-
him or someone else though? I think
It was a-
I think it was a different dude.
No,
I don't think that was James.
Oh, it's a different dude. It was
Yeah.
a different dude.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
it was just-
I don't think it was James on that date. I think it was another.
oh, you're right. You're right. James came in.
That was Veritas.
I don't think James has done any.
That's
of the
when he
gay
was with
stuff.
Veritas. That's right. So soon as Veritas.
Yeah,
right
there was
before he
one
left.
guy in specific who went on 3 gay dates.
I think that was the black guy that went after Katie Hobbs.
Oh,
He found her. He by go after her. He found her in public and was like, "Hey, how come no one can find you? What's going on? What are you doing? You want to answer some questions?" And she just runs away from him.
wow! How the freak did she get elected, dude? My God!
It's a perfectly fair election.
Because
The
election
best
machines
election
broke
ever
down
run.
and they had
Pulled
bad.
a Joe Biden, man. It was
They pulled.
crazy.
No. She actually. It wasn't even Joe Biden. Like they just made it look like complete incompetency, and then just didn't quit, and then just didn't care.
She didn't. That's how.
You sound like an election denier.
And actually, she got to call her own, so that's all that matters, right? She was a goddamn attorney general, and she just got to call her own election.
Well, let's
Yo,
just, look.
I think it was
Stacey-
crazy.
wait. Governor Stacey Abrams is completely right about everything going on in Georgia right now.
Georgia's a crazy state, bro.
Wait. I just realized what you said. Yes, Governor Stacey Abrams.
What was? Oh, I'm sorry. She's not governor. She's president of Earth. Oh, she
Yes.
no. In the
Oh.
32nd century, she is Earth.
Yeah, I went over my head.
Is if there's any reason for no one to watch Star Trek Discovery, besides the fact that it's Star Trek Discovery, besides the fact its initials are STD,
That is
Stacey Abrams
fantastic.
was president of Earth.
President.
Where there's no such thing as illegal aliens.
And where characters in the 32nd century are very concerned about their pronouns.
And their mental health, even
A
all
very
that was solved.
overweight woman is apparently a Starfleet officer because we don't have fitness in Starfleet anymore. Body positivity in Starfleet. That'll work when Klingons attack you with a batleth.
Uh,
So we got one last subject.
Oh, Christ.
We already talked about World War III. Now we need to worry about the Tim Pullining.
I think we're going to transition from Civil War to World War III. We need to
I
pick
don't-
one or the other. We can't do both, guys.
According
I'm sorry.
Civil War.
according
The rest of the world
to
doesn't matter.
Our federal government is we can afford all the wars. So
That's true.
Well,
You know why?
Or 3 of
We
them.
just
4
print
of
that
them.
money.
we can afford all the
Oh my
wars.
God,
So
it's
hey,
gonna-
fuck it.
Oh my gosh.
But
You know
that's
who needs more money?
so everyone's familiar with what's going on in
Zelensky.
Texas, right? Everyone knows that Texas was told to take was told that the federal people could take down the barbed wire, right? No one was
Right.
told to take down the barbed wire. No one was told they can't put up anymore. They just said the feds can take it down. That's all the Supreme Court said, right?
Yeah, that was it. The
Um,
tenant said, you by the way, you have to take the locks off your gate.
Who? What?
It's like the tenant of the house you own.
Yes.
They're like, hey, by the
Yes.
way, any locks on your gates, those have to go off now.
Your
we have
landlord
access.
says you can no longer put a deadbolt on your door.
Yeah.
That's just not allowed.
Yeah.
And so there's such an obvious position by the White House that they just want people to come up through the border. They just want people to come through the border.
At this point, it is very clear now that this is an open borders administration. They are not enforcing the law that is literally on the book.
They don't care. They don't care. They are un-American.
This may be a legitimately impeachable offense that you are in violation of the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. More than making a phone call to Ukraine saying, what the hell happened? What was this video I saw?
You know what?
That's impeachable.
Let's see what Joe Biden actually has to say about it himself.
Oh, do we have a translation? What year was this?
Would you allow these cities to ignore the federal law regarding the reporting of illegal immigrants and, in fact, provide sanctuary to these immigrants?
The reason the cities ignore the federal law is the fact that there is no funding at the federal level to provide for the kind of enforcement at the federal level you need. Pick up the New York Times today. There's a city not far across the river from my state that imposed the similar sanctions. And what they found out is, as a consequence of that, their city went in the dumps, in the dumpster. Stores started closing. Everything started to happen. And they changed the policy. Part of the problem is you have to have a federal government that can enforce laws. This administration has been fundamentally derelict in not funding any of the requirements that are needed even to enforce the existing
So,
law.
Senator Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
Okay. Would you?
This was moderate Joe Biden back in
2007.
I was going to say 2007, 2008. That was moderate Joe Biden back in the day, who's saying no to sanctuary cities. What we have now is a Joe Biden husk that is being animated by casts off from the Jim Henson Studios, who may be employed by George Soros.
Gal, I might be the only person that you could say NWO to and not immediately think Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Like, I just never.
That's not Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Triple H.
Triple H was not part of the NWO. It was Scott Hall.
X-Pac.
It was Diesel. It was Hulk Hogan.
X-Pac.
I'm sorry.
Well, he got into it, didn't he? He eventually became part of all that shit.
No,
being in all of them.
No.
I don't care. I
Triple
don't give
H
a
was
shit.
never part of the
They can suck
NWO.
my balls.
NWO. It was only WCW. It was Scott Hall. It was Kevin Nash. It was Hulk Hogan. Then they brought in all the others. Okay.
Yeah, but there was
Triple
a point
H
that it
was
all
part of
came
the
together.
clique.
Yeah.
It was the clique. Now it was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash back in the WWF before it became WWE.
So,
But I'm right, aren't I, Gal? You know I'm right.
That was Joe Biden saying that these sanctuary cities, there was one just down the street from where I live. Like how he
That was coherent Joe Biden.
Right, yeah. And he still tells the same story. Oh, there's just a town down the street from me. Like it's always the same shit. And they were a sanctuary city. But guess what? All their stores started closing down. Now,
mind you, that was back when you could not go into a 7-Eleven in Delaware and not have an Indian accent. Because remember, Joe said that too back then. And he's not a racist motherfucker.
Wow,
and also, he also didn't say that we finally have a black candidate who's clean and well-spoken. Joe Biden is not a racist. Let me point that out, everyone. Joe Biden is not a racist. Even though he said all those things.
I think you keep saying that to like trick yourself.
I'm repeating the lie. I'm doing the Goebbels thing. Repeat the lie till it becomes the truth.
So this is what Joe Biden's current White House has to say about razor wire.
Is it someone else or is it Joe Biden? Because I can't understand.
Kirby.
Oh, it's not any better.
It's Kirby.
Jesus Christ. This guy was an admiral.
I know.
What the fuck happened to him?
Does razor wire work?
So he was just asked, does razor wire work by Peter?
Yes, it does.
Work? Does razor wire work for what? Does it work for the Border Patrol to allow them to have the access they need to be able to better process people that are trying to get across the border? I don't think so.
No,
and that's what-
dumbass, does it keep them
Hold on.
out?
Oh
Hold
my
on.
god.
Listen to this again. Just listen.
Does it work for the Border Patrol to allow them to have the access they need to be able to better process people that are trying to get across the border? I don't think so, and that's why.
That's not the job of the Border Patrol, you
my
dumbass.
God.
And the way that he had to say it, he was like, "Fuck, if I can't just really put it out there." But he ended up really just putting it out there that they want
What you
process
say
people
is
who
we'll
get into
circle
the
back on
country.
that.
Here's the the real problem is you don't really get to get into an argument with him. So the response then to former admiral, now disgraced military person, Kirby, is, sir, are you saying the job of the Border Patrol is not to patrol the border and protect the border of this nation, but rather to process illegal immigrants so they can become what in this country? Is that the job of the Border Patrol? Because if that's the job of the Border Patrol that this administration has enacted, it is in violation of the United States Constitution. Is that your statement, sir? Say yes or no.
If the
It's a
federal
yes or no
government
question,
has
sir. Yes or
such a
no.
right to like go in and out of the borders, why is Texas paying for all of it?
Because the federal government won't do it. And the question then becomes, under the 10th Amendment, there are powers not given to the federal government under the United States Constitution, because that's how a constitutional republic works. The Constitution grants the federal government certain powers. Among them is protection of the borders, immigration, and naturalization. So when the federal government abandons its position, abandons its role under the Constitution to enact and protect those rules, when it abandons those rules, does it then become incumbent under the 10th Amendment that the United States, the states, united together to form the federal government, can the states then say, since the federal government has abandoned its role under the United States Constitution, can we assume that role? That is the question. That's the question that has to be asked. And that may eventually get to the Supreme Court, because it's not going to, it's going to be a civil war, a guns fight. No, it's going to be fought in the Supreme Court. It's going to be fought in front of lawyers, in front of judges. That's the question. When the federal government abrogates its obligations to protect the nation, does the 10th Amendment then allow individual states to say, I will take up this fight? That's the question, because that's what Texas is doing.
Government's the biggest corporation of all time.
It is now.
It is
wasn't when
now.
was formed.
It really feels like
it wasn't when you bring Thomas Jefferson. And I know I hate to say this, guys. Some of our founding fathers may have owned slaves back in the day,
but they treated them really nicely.
Well, Thomas Jefferson apparently did. Also, President Washington freed all any slaves he had. By the way, he let them go. But the true problem is this: when people look back in the past, they look back at it with glasses from today. You cannot look back 250 years ago and say, oh, this is wrong today. Of course it's wrong today, because people had different sensibilities. But back then, people knew slavery wasn't right. They were trying to correct it. They couldn't figure out how to do it right away. Can't do it right away. You have to keep working on it.
That's like they invented progressivism.
It's easier that way. It's easier for them to think that way. But the Constitution,
it helps fit the narrative of what they're trying to push.
Right. Well, you change the history to push what you want. That's what Michelle Obama says. Remember, she said we have to rethink history. No, we don't. You recognize history and recognize that it was different back then. I mean, honestly, I think today that we are a far more racist nation now than we were in the 1960s. We are actually there are people advocating for segregation, and the people advocating for segregation are minorities. Think about that. Brown versus Board of Education, desegregating schools, trying to get black children into predominantly white schools. The governor in South, I forget which governor it was Alabama, Mississippi. The federal forces are brought in to make certain these kids could go into schools.
Yeah.
And now what are we having? Oh, I guess, you know what? We really can't have this black man judged by a jury of his peers that isn't all black people. We can't have graduations that are all graduations for everyone. We have to a separate black graduation. We have to have a separate Hispanic graduation because this is what communism, this is what Marxism is doing. It's dividing the nation. That's the purpose of it. So they're taking what it used to be. This is the insidiousness of Marxism. This is why they play the long game. They played it so fucking well. And the conservatives are too focused on bullet points and whatever they're doing at the time. You're missing the game. They've been playing this game since the 1900s, early 1900s, when Lenin and Russia fell to the Soviet Union. And we had fucking progressive Woodrow Wilson back then. They were interning Germans during World War I. And then FDR interred Japanese people during World War II. All progressive presidents. Progressive presidents denying freedoms to people. That's what this is. That's what Marxism is. It was all rooted in Marxism. It's coming to a boil. That's why people are like civil war, because it's all out there now. And I think it's all out there now because of all this shit now. Because of everyone being able to talk to each other, being able to exchange ideas more than we've ever been able to in the entire life. People are able to pick up a phone and share ideas they never could before.
And you could finally prove the media's lying to you.
Yes. The veil has been broken. The corporate shield has been broken. That's why corporate media is dying. This is why you shouldn't have me on the show.
I forgot where I was going, where we left off at.
Preach.
So, yeah, there's.
Yeah, I went on a rant. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not, and Gal kind of went on a rant too. Like she said this, and this is something I somewhat think about. Oh, what the hell's going on with my latency all of a sudden? Am I still all weird? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
My video playback is super shit here all of a sudden.
That's where I was going.
YouTube?
Let me check things here real quick. How many people are on that Pal World server right now?
Oh, damn. Actually, I think it's a lot. Like 6 or 5 people.
Hold on. I see. Hold on. What's going on in Germany land? Germany's
Well, how many people are playing? Because I'm about to shut this bitch down. Because I have a feeling that's where my bandwidth's going.
Like 6 people.
Who the hell's on there?
Hold on. Professor Savage, Adam, Kel, Dermy.
Let me check Discord. I got Kel, I got Dermy, Adam, and Savage Dad. I see 4.
Okay, 4.
Through Discord.
Okay, those are the people that I know that have been on this whole time. So I don't know what it could be. Let me. Where's performance? That is, well, no, the Ethernet's fine.
Yeah, if they did do like a 4-party system, like there should be a constitutionalist party, and that would just be like the libertarians.
Libertarians can't form.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can't have their own fucking party.
So form a party.
That's why I'm saying they would just be the constitutionalists. They would just be the vote no on everything. They would be the Rand Pauls.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the video. It seems like everything's all right on the other end. Actually,
you're okay.
Yeah, well, the video is just weird.
We got time for another Duke rant.
So, Gal said this here. Wait or no, this one. keep the Constitution, abolish the rest. And it's like, there's a lot of things I like about the Constitution. I'm not one that will like can nitpick the Constitution a whole lot.
Dude,
But
it's
the
best
biggest
written.
problem with the Constitution is that all it is a piece of paper, and it's only as good as long as people believe in it.
That's true.
Well,
People already don't believe in it. The Second Amendment has been stomped on it for years.
People have to like so for me, like a big, like obviously a big thing is free speech, right? Free speech is a requirement for the human experience because that enables freedom of thought.
I think we are the only nation
on
the planet that has a part of the Constitution that protects freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah.
We literally are the only country that has anything about protecting free speech.
You see that on the internet?
And here's the other thing. Most people have a misconception of the Constitution. Well, first off, we have the Constitution and we have the amendments. So the Constitution itself is like, that's the rule book, right? The amendments is stuff we added on after, like, we should probably add this in after. So that's why the first 10 amendments is called the Bill of Rights. And what people forget is the Bill of Rights is not something granted by the government. The Bill of Rights says this is what the government cannot do, because it is saying these rights are God-given rights. These are the rights of a human being, and the government cannot infringe upon them. That's why the Second Amendment says the government should not infringe upon your right to self-defense, to access of a weapon, whatever. The government shall not create a law that infringes upon a person's freedom of speech, freedom of the practice of religion, freedom to assemble, freedom to protest against the government, and I forgot the fifth one. Shoot. Religion. The government shall not, well, it also basically says the government shall not create religion. And I think that's kind of going against the Anglican Church because, the Church of England, it's like we can't enforce it. But people have confused that with the idea of a separation of church and state, which really is not part of the Constitution. It basically involved correspondence, I think, from Thomas Jefferson to Connecticut, maybe. I have to go back and remember. Speaking about, the need to make certain that the federal government does not get involved with the church government. That doesn't mean that people can't be governed by religious belief, can't have religious belief in mind, because the fact of the matter is, without religious belief, we wouldn't have certain laws.
Right.
Murder. Thou shalt not kill. I mean, a lot of the 10 commandments are enshrined with basic laws throughout society. Thou shalt not lie. Well, people lie, but you can't lie under oath. That's called perjury. Adultery. Well, you're not going to be thrown in prison for it, but divorce is going to happen.
Well, and that used to be the only way a divorce could happen.
Until Ronald Reagan fucked it up. Bad Ronald Reagan.
El Spartacus. Hold on. We're gonna have to have a conversation with Gal, I think. Thoughts on kids not being taught to read and write cursive because Constitution being written.
Wait, is that why?
Wait, huh?
Is that what?
I thought it was just because like
no one used it. It was computers.
Yeah, computers. Yeah.
Because in third grade it was a requirement, and like in my
I remember
school,
learning cursive.
If you couldn't write
Or is
cursive,
that
or if you failed,
so I could see that being a conspiracy theory.
That is.
Sorry, Shock. What were you saying?
No, that's not important. You're good.
Gal's got her tin hat on.
You know what? You might not be wrong. That's a good possibility. You know what's funny is like, so I have terrible.
It is true. They are not taught cursive now.
I have absolutely terrible penmanship.
Me too.
Me too.
My cursive's pretty damn good though.
I cannot write cursive anymore.
I can't either.
Up until law school, I was writing in cursive. But trying to take notes, I couldn't do it anymore. So I converted to hybrid print versus system.
What do they call it? Shorthand. You created your own
Oh
shorthand.
yeah, shorthand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now basically I have something no one can read, and sometimes even I can't.
You're a doctor too? God damn.
No, he's a lawyer. This is lawyers and doctors have the same type of handwriting.
Oh,
I'm
I
a
know
Juris
that.
Doctor. I have a Juris Doctor. Yeah, writing sucks. And honestly, it's to the point now where like writing is sometimes awkward even because you don't write as much as you used to.
I hate it.
I type more than I write.
Dude,
hate it.
writing is so good for you.
I know.
Yeah, it helps you remember.
So,
That's
like
true.
actually, like writing. Same with and reading physical books is so much better than reading the.
I like physical books too. Yeah.
Like, and if you could just try like once a week just to get some words on some paper, whether you're just journaling or something. Like it's just so.
But like at night, if I'm going to bed, it's easier to read my iPad than to bring out the book and like have the light on top of it. You know,
my company is trying to make tradesmen use iPads in the field instead of printing out blueprints for them, and they hate it
because they're also working out in the sun. And you
What?
can't see the screen on those devices.
No, it's indoors. They're electricians.
Oh, okay.
Electricians, or even like framers, electricians, plumbers, commercial buildings.
I know. If
But you're not wrong. If you're on the roof, that's a
concrete
bitch.
dudes had to go out and lay the forms for a foundation, and they had to use a fucking iPad.
No.
Especially in this state, they would be livid.
Yeah, they would. I just think that's a funny. Yeah, my company's like trying to give everyone an iPad, and they're like, "Don't you want an iPad?" And then some of the older ones like, "I know what you're doing. I want the iPad and the prints." And they're like, "No, you got to choose one."
I don't disagree. There's something about having physical media,
facts,
the tactile sensation. There's quality to it. Like all my D&D books, all those things. I actually prefer to read them in that way than reading. And I have copies of everything on my iPad if I need to reference it. But like, I prefer to read it that way. I don't know why. It's weird.
I have questions. Get a book light and use it with the real book. Okay. Pen and paper are friends, not food. Are people going around eating pen and paper?
Who knows what millennials are doing? Gen Z's crazy.
Yep.
You know, I know physical media matters because I have a video that I put out like 3 months ago on Walmart or on Best Buy not selling DVDs anymore, and people are still watching that shit.
I still have a bunch of my DVDs. Now, mind you, for convenience sake, I converted a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays to digital versions, but I still have them all in my closet. I do it so I can bring everything in like my little flash drive here or SSD drive, right? Here's 4 terabytes. I got so many movies on here, but I still have them.
Yeah,
because
I would want both. I would want both. Yeah,
because like we see, you can change shit. This is like,
oh yeah, there's that, yeah, but like,
and I know we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it on Fracture Show because there's a Stargate episode where they do that. Where they rewrite memories.
Okay, so hold on, guys. So I do want to talk about one more thing here. We've kind of devolved into some stuff. I've got this article from the Post Millennial. I think this is Post Millennial. Yeah. And it's still talking about Texas. So it's the American trucker convoy headed to southern border to bring attention to Biden's border crisis. There are people that have never heard of the border problem because they just watch mainstream media. So that's what this is about. So I'm not quite fully sure what this is. I'm going to read this article because I didn't read it, but I had a thought when I first saw this. A trucker convoy called Army of God is headed to the U.S. southern border to stand in solidarity with Texas and the state's decision to invoke the invasion clause of the Constitution over the historic illegal immigration crisis at the southern border due to the Biden administration's open border policies. You know what? So when I saw this, I was thinking, okay, like the Canadian truckers, right?
Right.
And it's like, is this going to become a gimmick where people are just not going to pay attention anymore?
Yeah. There's a lot of political fatigue right now, I think.
And then so in this very first paragraph, or actually no, was it the paragraph? Or was it just this statement here? Yeah. There are people that have never heard of the border problem because they just watch mainstream media, or they don't watch anything at all, and they only look at what they're interested in all day long on the internet, and they don't have anything to do with politics because politics suck.
Taylor Swift tells them their news.
So like I'm thinking of someone I know. She's just definitely right leaning, big Trump supporter, but you know what? She doesn't care about all of the other stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like she doesn't get involved like on any level at all, right?
She doesn't watch his rallies.
She picked.
Yeah,
the
she
best
doesn't
way-
watch his. She doesn't watch his rallies.
Oh my
She
gosh.
just lives a normal life. She doesn't watch any news, and I wouldn't be surprised if she even doesn't do a whole lot of
You would be
social media.
so informed if you just watched his rallies. Like
But no. Here's the thing, though. It's like she might not know about what's happening in Texas, right? Does she care? Do people care?
Yeah, that's my thing about Keri Lake. Like, why do they care? Why do they care that they're getting bribed?
But here's the thing. People are starting to care now because of what DeSantis and what Abbott did. Because they shared the problem. People are starting. That's why we're hearing about it more. Because DeSantis sent a bunch of people to Martha's Vineyard. Because Abbott is sending them out of the state. Because it used to just be down south, right? No one in California cared.
Mm-hmm.
No one in Chicago cared. No one in New York cared. No one in Boston cared, because it was the southern border thing. So the southern border cities were taking all this. You got these little cities with 10,000 people in them suddenly taking in 20,000 migrants or doubling the population. It's like, we can't handle this.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. We have the rest of the country here. And all you people say you're sanctuary cities? Well, then, shut the fuck up and you tank these people who say they're claiming asylum because they've been given talking points. If you're going to stand by being a sanctuary city, do you remember when that fucking mayor in Philadelphia did a goddamn jig when they voted in sanctuary cities? Do you remember seeing that video? He came out of his office. Where's sanctuary city? He's like this fat ass, dumb son of a bitch going, where's sanctuary city? Yeah, how do you like it now, you son of a bitch? You got all these homeless people strung out on fentanyl. You got all these goddamn migrants. They're fucking foreign nationals invading our country.
Illegal aliens. They're illegal aliens.
Illegal foreign nationals invading our country. And don't say, you know, I don't want to say illegal aliens because illegal people confuse it with legal, illegal. Foreign nationals invading our country. That Tom Homan said the same thing the other day. Foreign nationals invading our country. You have no right to be here. You claim asylum. 90 to 95% of them do not have valid asylum claims.
No.
They're fleeing for economic reasons. They're not fleeing because of persecution from a government. They're fleeing because they don't like where they live. Or they're coming from wherever the hell they are. Or they're coming to do some goddamn thing we don't know about.
They
because
might
we're
have been
picking
paid
up all
to
these
come
goddamn terrorists.
They might have been paid to come here. They were told something. We might be paying them. So like the sheriff.
They all think the it's open. Senor Biden, Senor Joe said it's open now.
No, I think it's cartels bringing them in because
they are totally bringing them in.
Biden does the
But they're
green
being
light,
told.
and who's traffic them? Who's actually like creating the roads, directing them through the border? It's the car. And
Well,
how do they
there's a
end
lot
up
of
in
connections to
Tennessee, in
Soros.
Arizona,
There's a lot of
in
connections to Soros too. with that.
Minnesota?
The cartels direct them to a certain point. You know who directs them after that?
But
Who directs them after they get to cross the border?
So look, the three
United
of us,
States government.
the three of us understand
if
the
the
problem
cart-
with illegal immigration. The three of us don't like what we've been seeing and haven't liked for a long time, and we're aware of it. But early, like about 5 minutes ago, I want to say, Shock said political fatigue is a thing.
I think it's happening.
I think because it has been nonstop
It
since
is true.
2016.
Mm-hmm.
That is because the entire country, we became so political. Because
And then 2020, they just turned it to 11 and never fucking brought it down.
Yeah, it's fucking Spinal Tap. It you know why? Because the fucking media gets clicks off it. And honestly, that's why.
Well,
And-
no,
and
I
if-
think
and if
They
finally-
want Trump
Soros,
back. They want Trump back.
No,
That's
I'm
a
not
secret.
entertaining that.
You
I'm
think
not.
that-
No,
oh,
I'm
buddy.
not.
Oh, no.
I'm not entertaining that.
I guarantee you, when Joe Biden is there, nothing. Media's dying. You know where they get clicks off? You know where they get the viewers off of? They get
No, they're too stupid. I've thought the same.
no. They're not
thing.
stupid. They care about their ratings, dude. The
No,
ratings
I
are in the
think- I
tank.
think- so I think maybe the people in charge consider that idea, but the people that are writing all the articles and everything don't want that at all.
No. I think it's more.
Oh,
like
wait, yes.
I think it's this.
Go with Sparta.
Hold
The
on. There was a
Sparta
couple
Chris
things
thing.
Sparta said here.
No, last one.
Well, okay. We'll pull up the last one
Impeach
first.
that bitch.
He's like, and now you have a people like Ilhan Omar saying she's in our government for Somalia. Yeah, for Somalia, and then her Muslimness, and then she didn't even say anything about America in her speech.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that took place at, but someone did point out how the new Minnesota flag looks a lot like where she came from in Somalia. Something very interesting. He also said this up here. So much for the I vote on a subject to subject. And
Oh,
I don't vote
100%.
I don't vote for parties. Yet they don't pay attention to the issues. They bury their heads in the sand.
100%.
Now, I know some people who have their heads buried in the sand. There's this one individual, and this is a different friend of mine. It's another woman who I think of all the time whose head is buried in the sand. But you know what? She's got 2 young children, and she's in a marriage, and she works a job. And it's like, you know what? I give you permission to not have to worry about any of this. But don't vote. Right? Like if you're not because you shouldn't have to worry about
Well,
this.
no, you know who's responsible for that is media, and now it's independent media.
Yeah,
It
but
used to be
you know,
media.
but when you're a mom and you've got 2 kids and she's got a husband and everything, and he's there, they're all together.
Yeah.
But you know, like you both just want to sit down. At the end of the day, I know that they sit down at like 8-9 o'clock. They watch an hour or 2 of whatever, and they go to bed. And it has nothing to do with the news. They don't really do a whole lot of social media.
Mhm.
You know, they watch movies and TV and they go to bed, right? Like they don't have time to keep track of what's going on or to pay attention. But yet they see headlines on social media, and that's what and they roll with that. And it's like that's where they get informed. And it's like, but you're really not informed, because I've had conversations with them and they don't know half the shit that's going on.
Well, Spartacus is
But
kind of right
yeah, I
when
was
it
gonna
comes their schools. Like if you're not involved
Yeah.
with like your kids' schools and you're letting all the crazy blue hairs into like the PTA, it's what
Not
it is.
just
It's
that.
the PTA.
Not just that, guys. I mean, this
There are actually like a lot of protests.
the thing is, if you got kids, I don't have kids. But if you got kids, Spartacus is on point here. If you care about your children's future, you find out what's going on, at least what's going on locally. So, what's happening right now is your children's future is being taken away from them because your children are going to be paying. Well, first off, we're paying for it now. Your children are going to be paying for what is basically going to be a new subservient class in this nation. Because, my opinion, that is what the Biden administration is doing. The Biden administration, whoever's actually behind it, because I don't think Biden has a clue what's going on. The Biden administration is creating a new subservient class by bringing in all these unlawful foreign nationals entering the country. We've had senators on record stating, who's going to clean our bathrooms? Who's going to pick
Jesus,
our
I
fruit?
saw that recently.
They've
Who
been saying
who
that for
did
years. Dude, who
this,
hasn't said
you know what
that?
this is? This is literally the 21st century. It's a dirty word. This is the 21st century slave trade.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is a
Someone
creation.
just recently got busted saying that though, and it was a politician. I can't remember who it was though.
But this
Dude,
this
there's
is
so
what's being
many.
created. There is being created a class of people who will only exist to serve the upper class of people. So let's just go to this is fucking Hunger Games. We got, the main district number 1's awesome. And then you got the AVOCs there who just like behind little masks and everything. They serve everybody. But who pays for all this shit? So the AVOCs don't pay for it. Sorry, not the AVOCs, but District 1 doesn't pay for it. They're the enlightened class. They're the leaders of all of this. So this is again like Soviet Russia. All the Politburo, they were all the rich people. Politburo is in charge. They have beautiful dachas on the Black Sea, while the people are waiting in line to get toilet paper. And who's paying for all this? Well, that's all of us. So now we're paying for all this. But at some point, the money runs out. Because here's what happens. So, I mean, what is a United States budget, right? It's like trillions of dollars. So they're like, well, we need to tax all these rich people, right? We need to tax their wealth. Take away all of Jeff Bezos' money. Take away all of Elon Musk's money.
Yeah.
Take away all. It's gone. Take it all. You do not cover the United States government for 1 year. So now you take all their money away. You know what that means? Their businesses are gone. So those people are unemployed, right? So now there's no more Amazon. So all the people who work for Amazon, they're gone because Amazon's gone because you took all of Bezos' money away. You take away all of Elon's money. So we don't have SpaceX. We don't have Tesla. You take it all. I take all his money. Great. You just stripped the tree bare, you dumb motherfuckers. The tree is dead. Margaret Thatcher said, socialism is great till you run out of other people's money. Right?
Yeah.
Something like that. That's why it doesn't work. That's why capitalism is good.
Right.
But let's do the communist thing. You know why? Because we haven't done communism right yet.
Right. Yeah. That's what they always say. It's just never been done right. And in regards to in regards to people needing to pay attention, parents needing to pay attention to what's going on locally with their kids, particularly in schools. And like they've got the friends I was talking about have them in like special schools, some sort of thing.
They're not going to last long.
But like you're absolutely right. They need to pay attention locally. I guess
they are in California.
They might just be lost to the cause because she just doesn't. She's like super for Ukraine and like all of this stuff, and it's just like she did not like
they're all coming for the children because that's how you build the next generation. That's what the Cultural Revolution was in China. The children turned in their parents. When it becomes unlawful in this country to misuse someone's pronouns like it is in some other countries, you think kids won't be turning in their parents? You think it's not going to happen? Guess what? It will, because the kids we brought up on social credit score, but we brought up on getting likes and clicks through Instagram. This is the fucking nightmare scenario that's happening right now.
Have we reached the dystopian future? Are we there and we just don't know it?
Partially. I think we're partially there. I say partially there.
I think, yeah. Hey, good night, gal. Thanks for stopping by.
I say partially there because there are still people speaking out against it, and people still have a voice against it.
No, this is why we're in a civil war. It's an information war.
Yeah, and was it you that said that last week, or was it?
I've always said I agree
that
with.
we're in a civil war now.
I've
And
always
it's
agreed.
It is a cold civil war.
It's an information war.
No, it's civil
It's
war.
InfoWars. Fucking Alex Jones
No.
called the shit.
It's InfoWars, dude. The federal government just encroached. I forgot how to say that word, but encroached on Texas. Yeah, on Texas by saying, "Hey, by the way, this wall, this chain or this chain fence, we're not gonna observe it as a border anymore. We're gonna cut through it when we feel like it." That's
the problem is it used to be the United States. Now it's the United States. See the difference how I said it? The United States.
Yeah.
Now it's the United States. So after
state
the
laws
Civil
don't
War,
really differ anymore.
the federal government took on a totally different role.
They tried to federalize marriage laws. Remember? They wanted to
Well,
federalize.
they have. They did.
They
At some
did?
point, they did. Yeah, when you could not marry between races, that was federal. If I recall
Oh, that's
correctly.
true. But they wanted all of it to be under one federal bill. They were trying to do that for a while.
That was partially for tax reasons as well.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check Twitter real quick to see if we've decided to bomb Iran or anyone this evening. Because they were saying Joe Biden could make a decision on that tonight.
Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. Like, you know what? From now on, whenever I say Joe Biden, referring to like making a decision for the White House.
Biden.
Exactly. Consider me just putting quotes around that. And it's
Yeah.
whoever's actually making the fucking calls. Because anyone with any sort of brain knows it ain't him.
Are you kidding? Joe Biden is the most popular president ever elected.
I know.
Most votes ever. Because everyone said, you know what? I look back at this guy who's Scranton Joe, who's running for president. This is his third time. I know he had to duck out the first time because he was caught plagiarizing. I know he ducked out the second time.
Oh, God.
And went all racist.
The buying babies.
Don't get me started on the buying babies. I had an
Didn't we do that
last week about the buying baby things where I was kind of like, well, one, I've been against the idea of buying babies and people need to adopt and stuff, but now I'm like super against the buying baby stuff. I think that is completely unnatural and is entirely
Well, Shane Dawson did the most inhumane way where they created like 3 or 4 embryos and then they split apart the ones they didn't want. Like,
yeah, from what I understand, that's normal.
No,
Yeah,
no,
viability issues.
That's part of the process because not
You
all the
can get
zygotes make it through the whole
you
thing.
can get a surrogate. You can defend surrogacy, but the fucking petri dish and splitting them apart, that's evil.
Oh, no. So like, I don't defend surrogacy at all by any means. I'm completely
I'm saying you can make an argument for surrogacy when you versus just the whole the pure petri dish and buying babies and creating and dismantling. That stuff's evil.
Well, it's the difference between eugenics and is this viable or not, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not like it says brown eyes, I want blue eyes. That's different than like, all right, this baby will make it.
Oh, you're talking about designer babies.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that too.
We're at 2.5 hours, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Let's call it an evening.
It's late.
It's been another good show.
Time to go play some Pal World.
I think it's like 1 a.m. for Dermy. I think he's gonna be done soon.
It's 1 a.m. for me. Dermy's in Kansas.
Yeah.
Duke, tell the people what you got going on this week.
So I will be showing up on Thursday night. I guess there's a show on Thursday night. Some asshole runs it. See where
I don't know who the fucking asshole is. He looks weird.
I know. And then some tall, like quasi Sasquatch guy who welds is going to show up too. Hopefully this time, if you can figure out how to work his phone. You stole Panther,
Pinky.
You released it from its torture. You saved the Panther.
The Panther lives with me now.
Maybe Angel Studios will make a movie about you saving that Panther.
God, that's amazing. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna have time to do any videos this week, but I will be at MegaCon this weekend. And I'm gonna try to find Rebel Moon cosplay.
Did you watch it?
Noise.
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah, well, tonight apparently.
You
Yeah.
just need to make a video. You need to watch it and then just make video. Walk up to every Leia and every Padme and be like, "Oh, are you insert Rebel Moon character?"
I didn't know what they are. I'm gonna have to write these things down. And then honestly, I'm
Or
gonna
the symbol.
try. I'm gonna see if Fractured lets me stream in on Saturday because you guys are gonna do SG1 watch show. Which I'm upset I'm missing it because it's such a horrific episode.
Yeah, I know. Too.
But Emancipation. But at that time, I will be at the G&G Nerdrotic meetup in City Walk in Universal Studios in Orlando. So I'm gonna just try to stream in live to show you all what's going on.
Oh heck yeah, we'll be there. That sounds fun.
So see if I can run into anybody. Maybe like someone will show up on stream for a second. Who knows?
Maybe. And Sir Shaka Zulu 112, whatever number he happened to put. How are you?
Yeah.
What have you got going on this week?
What I got going on? I got a Power World video. I'll try to make another video this week, hopefully, but I'll definitely be streaming on Kick all week when I can. Shaka Zulu 1 is my Kick channel, so give me a follow, and we'll see you Thursday.
Yes, you'll be able to find the three of us here on Thursday for the weekend pregame. Where let's see, what do I got? I got a bunch of stuff already. We're gonna talk about dumb cunts in Hollywood.
Nice.
We're
What
gonna
the
talk
fuck is
about. There's a lot of cringe. There's a lot of cringe.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of fucking cringe. Someone who's upset that their husband isn't queer.
What?
You'll just have to wait. You'll just have to wait for Thursday, the weekend pregame.
I blame CERN. I blame the Super Collider. I'm totally in on the Super Collider theory now. Fucked up everything.
But we're gonna talk about Anne Hathaway.
Oh my god, that
What?
was
What happened?
that was. Oh no.
What happened?
I said
Your
cunts in
heart-
Hollywood.
your
We're
heart
talking
is
about
gonna
cunts
be
in Hollywood.
broken, bro.
Alyssa Milano.
I know what Alyssa Milano
Yeah.
is.
Bro,
You'll have to go dig up the Anne Hathaway thing.
She looks
Oh,
like she
Jesus
got
Christ.
MOK'd. Like, this is like the good stages, bro. Like, she looks like a different person.
Oh no, did she go plastic surgery like the chick on?
No, I mean
Boys?
like her attitude. Like, she's just so brainwashed and indoctrinated now.
Yeah, it's so bad.
She looks so brainwashed.
And then also 2 weeks from now, 1 week from this Thursday on the weekend pregame, we are doing another What is Woke? We're going to have a big old panel, and we're just going to talk about what's woke and what it means
yeah.
to us and how we perceive it and how we determine
What the
that.
fuck?
I don't even know what you call it. Classification.
Yeah, because there's a big difference between progressive and woke, even though they're interchangeable at times.
Right.
They're not always interchangeable. They're
Well,
different.
You just need to play John Campy going, woke.
Oh, I need to get that clip, and I need to make some sort of intro for that. That's not a bad idea.
I love that.
So on that, I have no outro. Thank you for
Awkward
watching,
wave.
everyone. Duke, thank you for joining us tonight as our Nerdy Neo sit-in. And Shock, thank you for being here once again.
Mm-hmm.
And until next time, everyone, have a good one.